Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome to your Sunday night V8 Supercar Kickstarter. It's just been the most amazing, intense Bathurst 1000 that we've seen in living memory. And if that's not enough, well, now we've got Sunday night fun for you here in the sim racing world community. My name is, of course, Scotty Rattlegun Rank, and alongside the Pix Nixon and Nathan Shibby held on cameras. I'll tell you what, it has been a phenomenal monster day in terms of Australian racing. It's just been one of the best. Like, I can't recall a day in living memory that was this good.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong, Rattlegun. Because like the day was awesome. Like I only started watching it from lap 41 and onwards.
You missed all the fun.
I know. But I did go back and watch it, and yeah, it was just hectic seeing drivers like Matt Campbell, which is honestly he's probably one of the top 10 drivers right now. Like, he's won Le Mans, he's a Porsche factory driver and all that, and then you see him just absolutely total the car, and you just go, wow! Like, the conditions were crazy. So yeah, but no, it was a good day to watch, though, for sure.
It's just such a unique day within the Australian calendar, and on your screen is a further portion of why today is so unique. We go from watching realistic V8 Supercars. I was actually watching a little bit more of the Brock Feeney documentary series that's been going on. Pit lane has now been open. Qualifying has been kick-started from the Sim Racing World V8 Supercars Series. Super 1 and Super 2 all out on track together. They're going to trundle down pit lane. It's going to be about getting a quantity of laps in tonight. It's not going to be about the quality of laps, because right now, with 50 cars, and you heard that right, 50 cars taking to the track, there is going to be an average of a car about one every 1.3, 1.4 seconds, even less than that, I think. So getting free time on track, Connor, free time on track is the critical metric here.
I don't think anyone's going to get some free time here. Like you said about track position, I reckon this first lap is going to be everything. I mean, we could still see cars rolling out now, and I think actually our top guys are actually almost finished their laps. Yeah, they're actually coming onto the the first straight here now. So we've got Corey on as our first car, Harry Dodds, Craig Schultz, Zach Mack, and Sam Noble. So they are all 951 Sim Sports, which is great to see. We've wanted them to come back for a while. Then we got Brian Sagas, and then we got Matthew Keane behind him. So I mean, they're already starting their lap already. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be just over a minute in terms of lap times. Porsche Cup around here, the best lap times out of those guys was 105. So have a look at the guys trying to back up their lap. It's a Formula One technique, trying to get their lap kick-started. They'll chain everyone up at that last corner, trying to let guys go that's on a fast lap. That is going to be near impossible. We throw it back to everything in the images that we saw from Thursday night in the Porsches. I am predicting chaos. There is literally no other way to approach tonight. Blinking cars, that's going to be another issue, as Matty Jones is trying to settle himself down in. That may not necessarily... Look, I was originally going to say that's not a Matty Jones issue. The more I see it, the more I'm like, okay, that is a Matty Jones issue. Oh, look, if he blinks out once, if he blinks out a couple of times, you might go, oh, look, that may be something on our graphical end of things. But the instant he continues to blink out like that when other cars around him are static, that's when you know it's a hardware issue on Matty Jones's side. Right, laps starting to come in, and McFarlane's gone to the top. Sagassa's up there because he was one of the early drivers to set a lap. Matty Keane has managed to get a lap in. He will take the promotion into Super 1 this season. That's a story that we will keep an eye on as the night progresses as well. It's just eyes everywhere. Where do you look? Where do you look, Connor?
I'm actually going to say our guys that are new to the league. Brian Sagassa is very new to the league. I haven't seen Zach Mack in here for a while. It's good to see him around. Ty Delaney, I'll be interesting to see how he progresses. But then you got to look at our, guys that normally race. Pete Pavlik, it's good to see him. Jamie Dyke, just your general guys that are on track. All the TMX cars. So yeah, I think you kind of. I don't know. I think it's a bit of a mix between your new guys like Christopher Blakely, which he did really well in the Porsche Carbs. No, sorry, TCR. Then you know, or you could look at your generals. But I think Jamie Dyke's actually got a really good challenge on his hand for this.
That's a car filing down into turn 1 at a slow speed as well. So times are starting to come in thick and fast across the board. We still have some people out there in, let me tell you this, in their retro liveries from the Sandown 50 from last weekend. That was only a week ago.
Yes, my teammate refuses to take the livery off, by the way.
I don't blame him. I absolutely don't blame him.
So,
Stay with it as long as possible.
I said to him, are you going to put the normal livery back on? No. Just no. Don't argue with him. Just leave him.
Mate, he is, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I don't even know which teammate that was. I'm going to assume it was Bleak.
Right. No, Brayden.
It was Sagasa. Well, Sagasa wasn't even in the Sandown 50.
I know. But check what livery he's got on. It's actually your favourite.
Oh, is it a green-eyed monster?
Yeah, it's the 1-9 green-eyed monster.
Oh, you little ripper, Sagasa. He knows how to impress me.
Oh, he knows.
Mind you,
not
I've
me.
actually... we were talking about this week. We were talking about some drivers that we've known for a fair while. And we said, obviously, you know, we've been racing with John Lee since Project Cars Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I've actually known Braden Sagasa slightly longer than him.
Wow.
So there you go. Yeah, another guy from another platform, another throwback. So you know, he knows how to impress me.
As Matty Jones just gives him a little punt there on the back of the rear bumper. But I reckon Jamie Dyke might have a bit of competition this year. Season, sorry, because there's a couple of 9.5 guys out here, so that's interesting to see.
The level's gone up a notch, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, and you know how you're saying about the Porsche Cups being mad? I don't know if you tuned into the GT3s, but I reckon the GT3s are going to be this level tonight, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, the field-wise plus how hectic the racing was, I reckon it's going to be tonight.
Well, I can tell you for a fact that we have never, ever in sim racing world history had to close sign-ups for a league before we see night 1 of it. Never.
Yeah.
So, series first, big old checkbox has been ticked off. The series has been going from strength to strength. We've got Super 1, we've got Super 2. So just because you're not at the tippy top of that timing tree does not mean you're not fighting for a place within your class. That is something that we'll have to keep an eye on. Classes are yet to be locked in. They are still provisional. There may be a couple of little shuffles around because now that we've hit our 50 signups, we can now sit down and sift through the results at the end of tonight and go, yep, there's probably a guy who's out of sequence there. We'll see if Matty Keane does manage to sneak his way in. There's a few guys we were talking about Harry Dodds last season. And there was another driver, I can't remember who it was, but they step up into Super 1. There'll be a few drivers out there tonight where this will be their first crack at Super 1 driving as well. And it's on them to have that crack, to get out there and do the best that they can. And I tell you what, Matty Jones has just been compromised at the last corner. He was trying to pick up a solo run around on his own. And now he's gone side by side with somebody down the front straight, squeezes them against the outside barrier, looking for every opportunity. That is the fight for track position, and that is Matty Keane off the road at turn number 1, Matty Jones off the road at turn number 1. Cars going everywhere you look. There are now about 5 to 10 cars in pit lane.
The pile up at the first corner. There's about 3 of them just piled up. Zach, Matt, Cowie, and I think Brian, all just piled up. Brock as well. But I tell you what, you talk about the competition for a sec, Scott. How's the liveries? Everyone coming back to a new season, fresh series. How's the liveries? Everyone's nice and fresh, ready to go.
Oh, Britannic!
Oh,
that's on Matty Jones though for entering the track where he did. You can't just roll straight out. It
looks like
immediately. All right, race control saw that one straight away. They've jumped on it, and rear grid penalty immediately applied for Matty Jones for not showing care to other drivers on a lap. So race control not going to take any of it tonight, and that's a good step of authority to lay down early.
Christopher Blakely had a bit of an issue with Bradley too. He looked like he blocked Chris on his lap. Who else we got in the pit? Matty Jones is doing some burnouts in the pits. Ty Delaney's got a new livery on, by the way. Talking about liveries. Yeah.
Oh, a big moment for Dylan Thomas in the last corner as well. It's going left, right, and centre. And see that timing clock on your screen? That's not the end of qualifying. That is where we kick off the top 10 shootout. So we will go straight from qualifying into the top 10 shootout. Race Control will walk everyone through that one tonight. Top 10 cars, the qualifying format for the V8 Supercars at Bathurst that was cancelled. No, you can tune into Sim Racing World on a Sunday night. You'll see it every week of the season.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to cancel our Bathurst once that top 10 shootout. Cough, cough, wink, wink. Australian Motorsport. Yeah.
Good news. Good news. Rain's not in the build yet. Won't be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had no choice. They absolutely had no choice.
If we had to be serious about it, yeah, they had no choice of doing it, and I totally understand with where they're coming from. Like, it was a very unsafe thing to do, so they've just cancel it, which is fine.
The biggest issue is you don't want to penalise people for getting into the top 10 shootout. And that's what they would have done by risking the cars that would have gone out on track onto a very, very wet track with not... If the race had started in those conditions, it would have started under a safety car or not started at all, were the only two options. So how can you release cars onto a track like that to do a top 10 shootout? Deep is Andrew Cowan trying to set himself up. He's already got himself up inside the top 20. He'll snag the grass and he will abort that lap and have another crack at it. So at this stage, cars that are in the top 10 shootout, Corey McFarlane, Jamie Dye, Craig Schultz, David Coleman, Blake Delaney, so the 350 drivers at the top end of town. Zach Mack, Matt Stewart, Chili Bin's got himself in there. Harry Dodds is in there. Matty Jones has received a rear grid start, which means it'll actually extend out to the top 11 this time. Brian Good and Bruce Tannock is your 11th driver, so he is the bubble driver at the moment.
Yeah, he is. Bruce actually was really quick on Friday night, so new car for Sunday night, but in the GT3s he was absolutely a rocket ship, so to see him again, wonder how he's going to go tonight. He's a very quick driver, very smart. So
and I would like to point out as well, there is less than a second separating our top 11, because excluding Matty Jones from there.
Yeah,
less than a second.
9/10 or so, you reckon?
Well, it's 9.5 tenths at the moment. So the marker at the moment to crack into the top 10 shootout, you have to get into the fours. Bruce Tannock is the only driver that will qualify without doing a 104 at this point in time. So Tannock has to be out there. He has to continue circulating on track. The question for me is, we know that these tyres are falling off after that one lap. They only have one lap of peak performance. With how tricky it is to get timing down the track, do you fuel up for, say, 2 or 3 laps and go multiple times?
Yeah, 100%. I'd even fill up for 10 laps even, because the more weight you've got in the rear, the more grip you've got. So the more grip you've got, especially being a track that you do not want to slow, you just want to have the car planted, not moving it around. You just want to just a grip. So yeah, I'd put 10 laps of fuel in just to have that grip in the rear. Some of these guys might have a planted setup, but some other dudes might, other guys might need that extra grip. As we say, some teammates are slipping. So Braden Sagassa's in our top 10 now. So
Sagassa's going to jump up one spot and knock Bruce Tannock out. What's the lap time there for Sagassa as well? 105.018. So he is 18 thousandths away. So I would say now it's confirmed. You've got to do a 104 to crack yourself into that top 10 shootout.
Yep. Confirmed. So yeah, Matty Stewart actually dragged him along, so now they've swapped positions, so good teammates. Then who else we got? Oh, someone's off the road. Who's that?
That was either
Greg
Michael
Johnson.
Locke or Matty Keane. Greg Johnson is off the road in the middle sector of the lap as well, trying to find a safe spot for him to reach it. The problem is here...
Michael Whiting? Sorry, I was just... Oh yeah, Michael Whiting, he's not in the top 10 yet. So Michael Whiting needs to still get in that top 10.
Oh, Let's run through the names that are new to the series, the names that we haven't seen before. Craig Schultz is among those, Brian Good, Zach Mack, we did see some of him during the Sandown 50. Matt Stewart, who we've seen in other series so far this week, but not so here in the V8 Supercars. Brock Mottershead, Jai Schultz we've seen a little bit of, but not in the V8 Supercars. Scrolling further down the list, Andrew Proctor is another driver that's been a huge supporter of Sim Racing World. Has been out here and supporting the league. He's now going to jump in for SLM Motorsports. Ty Delaney will return to the series. Bradley Mays, we've seen a few times this season. This week already, putting his times out there. Matt Iben, Linton Wills, Dean Reddit, Tyrone Walsh. So there's a good 10 to 15 names that are setting their first laps in the Sim Racing World V8 Supercar Series.
Yeah, even when you talk about, I mean, not to be biased or anything, but my teammates have just started up. Matt Stewart, Brian Sagassa, and Christopher Blakely.
Oh, I skipped over them, yeah.
yeah, thanks. No, all good. But but yeah, they're new to the series. So 2 of them are in the top 10. But yeah, it's good to have them on track. It's actually quite funny. I'm just Dave Blake. He's actually got the same livery on as my teammate right now, Christopher Blakely, but it's a bit different. So that's quite funny. Then who else? Josh Schultz, he's in. What else we got?
So there's another driver receiving a rear grid penalty. So race control. The thing is, when you've got a full track, race control has no ability to apply any sort of leniency to any issues, particularly around Oran Park. When we get to Phillip Island, when we get to Bathurst, the track's a fair bit more open. You've got 50 cars spread out over 2 minutes rather than 40 cars or so spread out over 1 minute.
Yeah, definitely. Like this, what we're doing, Croy McFarlane's just done a 103.9 just to point out, like...
That's it. That's probably it. That'll secure him within the top 10 shootout. So,
yeah,
job done.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's knocking that off. He's a very quick driver. He's done East Coast. He's done Scops. He's in a lot of leagues. He's just been absolutely blowing everyone out of the water right now. So he'll be a very good contender. Jamie Dyke, the bus driver, as we know him. Who else? Who else do you reckon would be a good contender? Craig Schultz, he'll be a good one. It's good to see David Coleman back. He'll want to get on the podium for tonight.
Right, Sim Racing boys, again with their rigs plugged in from the boat ramp.
Yep, definitely.
I was going to say, have we taught you about the boat ramp yet? Have we taught you about?
Yes.
You need to tune in on Monday nights.
Oh, I don't have time on Monday nights, but yeah, I'll have it in the background. But yeah, who else? Blake Delaney. Last season, he came through the field for Suzuka multiple times. He's the one for the lookout for. David Coleman. I know they're all fishies, but they're all trying to improve themselves because now we've even got a stronger field than last season. So it's good to see.
That's the wrong Delaney, Shibby. That's Junior Delaney. How awesome is it seeing him back out on track again? Ty, the improvement from round 1 to round 9 last season of Ty Delaney was mega, and there was a lot of times there that Blake had an opportunity to get himself back out on track, turn laps, and he'd actually extend the opportunity to Ty instead, and that's important. You know, it's looking at the next generation of sim racing. Again, if you're out there and you're considering the next generation of sim racing, you've got a child who's looking at getting involved within sim racing. Don't forget the Sim Racing World Academy. Anyone under the age of, I believe it's 16, 13 to 16 years of age, we have coaching on offer. They get 2 races of a Sunday night, I believe it is, complete with broadcasting and coaching that'll be on offer. 2 sessions a week. It's all about getting the next generation of sim racers out there and on track, getting them a space where they can develop their skills. Quite difficult for them to develop their skills in online servers where potentially people aren't going to be as understanding. That's all right. Sim Racing World's got you covered. Big shout out to guys that make it possible as well for the event that's down at Motor Classica in Melbourne. If you've been in Melbourne, as I know, there's actually been a few drivers who've walked up to the booth and said hello to the Sinkovich brothers and got photos with them. I want to see those photos, by the way, whoever that was. I saw the post about it. I didn't see exactly who the name was, and my memory is poor enough that I've already forgotten. But there was somebody that was down at the booth and went along and said hello. It was Daniel Clutterbuck. That's who it was. It was Daniel Clutterbuck. So big shout out to Warren and Brown Tools who have made that possible for us, as well as the two hardware sponsors coming together for Sim Racing World that made that possible. New rigs flown over from Race Car Simulations on your side of the country in Western Australia there, Connor.
Yeah.
And as well, hardware from Toyo Sim that made it all possible as well. And that means that Dean and Steven Sinkovich not able to partake here tonight because they're still packing up from the event. So hello to everyone that is still down at Motor Classica if you guys are indeed watching.
Quick question, Scotty. You know how Oran Park's been knocked down and it's really sad and, you know, everyone loves Oran Park?
No.
Couldn't you almost do a retro round for Oran Park?
You can do whatever you want for Oran Park.
Oh, say Braden's Scasso around.
Well, see, Braden's carrying on retro round, so theoretically, yes, we are doing partial retro round.
Yeah, well, apparently. Well, Chris is technically doing it, but it's one of our new liveries, so yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a mix.
I think I've seen a few liveries up and down the field. I mean, you know, honestly, I've got to be honest with you. If I had a retro livery, I don't think you'd ever get me to turn the livery off. I'd leave it on.
Oh well, we'll send you one over, Scotty.
The biggest problem with that is you actually got to get me out on track in the V8 supercar. That's your first problem.
Oh, we'll make it happen. Trust me, we'll make it happen, buddy.
Big shout out, actually, I've just seen Michael Quash just drop into the server as well, so he's here. And I want to extend a apology before the season even starts. Is it Stefan Lawrence? Stephen Lawrence? Stefan Lawrence? I know we had a big conversation about it at the end of the last season.
I think if we have to pick, I reckon Stefan.
Stefan Lawrence.
Oh.
Big shout out to the Riot Sim Racing boys because they will be making jokes. We say any words here in the commentary booth. We come on, we say hello, and they're already making jokes about us down there. Don't forget a big shout out to the Fishy boys as well, who are also listening in. Jamie Dyke, if you're listening in, can I get a flash of the headlights? I know you're not out there in the car, but flash them anyway. Yeah, I know he's flashing them, so we don't even need to check in.
Shocker for Jamie Dyke flashing his lights. Never heard of that.
I thought he just had that button taped down on his steering wheel. Bruce Tannick? No, Zach McDonald? No, it was Brian.
No, Bruce and Zach.
Peter Morris, tell us if Jamie's sitting in pit lane flashing his lights. Just tell him to flash them. Step van, okay. Step van, thanks, Corey. Huge moment for Andrew Cowan's gonna grab a little bit too much of a curb.
So we see Jai Schultz off the road and Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas is one of the newer ones to Fishy. I can't keep up with how many Fishy cars they've got now. It's like they're breeding.
Fish do breed. Fun fact.
Yeah,
they do lay eggs. They do breed. They do procreate. Don't know if you knew that, but you do now.
That was the whole. But yeah, he's new. TMX boys, Michael Quash, as we said.
Daniel Clutterbuck, yep.
Yeah, I actually do like those TMX cars. They look very cool, very snazzy. I think that's the right word.
The part I enjoyed about the TMX cars from last season was that it wasn't just one of them improving. They were both improving together. Yeah. Like they both started off slow and they both improved equally the whole season long. They sort of swapped around who was ahead at different stages throughout the season, but they were never more than a couple seconds away from each other on the road the whole time, all season long.
I mean, talk about improving. I think, I mean, we talk too much about these guys, but
no, we don't.
The Fishy, the Fishy guys, they improved so much. Like Ty Delaney improved, Dave Coleman, like he sure Ty to what he was than what he is now. Michael Whiting, he was quick, but now he's even just rapid. He's such a rapid guy now. But yeah, they're all improving from SRW. So yeah, it's good to see them.
Yep.
And the bad thing is, Scotty. So you talk about improving and stuff, right? Well, Matt Stewart hopefully doesn't improve because I beat him by 2/10 in the practice session. So I'm just hoping he just,
Mate, if you keep up that sort of an attitude, I'm going to lose my commentating partner, and you're going to end up out there on track, and that's going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
make sure that you ask the Fishy Boys what's the track temp when you can. Okay, Fishy Boys, what is the track temp?
Yeah.
Is it raining fish? Is just fish everywhere?
Just fish.
The grip level's going to become fish?
How many fishies do you reckon there will be? If you had a rough idea, like let's
honestly,
say in about 6 months.
At this point, they could fill a grid on their own.
Yeah, they probably could. They probably could, to be fair. What, there was 25 cars in Supercar, or 27, 28? So, you're getting there, boys.
Big shout out to Sean McNamara, who's jumped in for the 9.5 Sim Sports boys as well. Has jumped in and said hello. How good is this? How full is the grid? We don't fit on one page anymore.
Yeah.
We legitimately don't fit on one page. I said there's 50 signups. Again, there's a few obviously missing. Not everyone's able to make it tonight. Sorry, Walsh just barely brushes the barrier. But everyone's jumping out on track. And it's just like, the best part is, and this is why I've always, I've been pushing, I've been trying to get more people to come across the racing sim racing world the whole time. And I don't do that because, oh yeah, I'm a paid commentator. You can't make me, I'm one of those people, you can't make me push a product unless I enjoy it. Like, I just can't do it. I've never been able to do sales positions unless I've got the product and I know what the product is. And it's the culture.
Yeah, 100%. And you talk about that and you look at all our sponsors, we all love them for what they do. And, but we've only bring them on because of how good they are and what we think of them. So, I'm
here and I'm commentating here and I'm pushing this league because I'm literally showing up and I get to sit here and tell everyone how poor Connor Nixon's driving is. That's the main reason.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I turn up. It's just,
You just can't get told the stuff off the rank.
Pretty much.
Righto. Qualifying now in the books, and we'll move on to the top 10 shootout. That is it. It's all locked in. Let's take a quick look at... It is going to be Harry Dodds, who looks like he's going to be the last driver that squeaks in. And you know what? A 104 was not enough. You had to do a 1.848 to get in. A 1.048. Again, still less than 9/10 of a second that covers our top driver all the way down to the bottom. But in this order, this is the drivers are going to be taking part in the top 10 shootout. Harry Dodds will be the first cab off the rank. Matt Stewart's going to be up next. Zach Mack, Michael Whiting, Brian Good, David Coleman, Blake Delaney, Craig Schultz, Jamie Dyke, and Corey McFarlane. The only driver to break into the 103s will file out last of the top 10 shootout drivers. We're going to have them jumping down to say hello to us as well after they complete their qualifying run. So we are underway now with the top 10 shootouts. You'll see Harry Dodds take to the track in a few moments, and we'll get cracking with him.
I'll tell you what, you were talking about McNamara for a second. Why is he not in here? If he's got spare time, like, come on, McNamara, surely. So as we see, Harry Dodds coming out on the track. Dodds
is going to roll out of pit lane and get onto his lap. So probably time to talk through a few things. We might actually, whilst Dodds is doing his warm-up lap, run through the rest of the grid. We've got about 50 seconds to do so. So from P12 back, it is going to be, I actually think that, I'm not sure if Shibby can actually talk us through this one. So, sorry, my apologies. From P11 back, it will be Hayden Norris, Brice Tanek, Braden Sagassa, Dylan Thomas, Sam Noble, Jai Schultz, Brock Mottershead, Andrew Cowan's going to be about P20-ish. Daniel Clutterbuck, Troy Dooley, Matty Skulls, David Blake, Peter Pavlovich, Dan Reed, Christopher Bleakley, Matty Keane, a long way down for Matty Keane, Michael Quash, Brett Taylor, Andrew Proctor, Ty Delaney, Tyrone Walsh, Bradley Mays, Matt Iben, Greg Johnson, Linton Wills, Michael Locke, and Chris Miller, and Callan Hodgkinson. Rear of grid penalty. There was 2 applied during that session. I didn't actually catch who the second one was applied to, but Matty Jones will be one of the 2 cars coming from the rear of the grid. That is going to be a spicy thing to watch as Harry Dodds rolls off of the last corner of Oran Park. This kickstarts your top 10 shootout, the first one of the season. Another second time ever we've done this as a part of Sim Racing World TV. We run down to turn number 1.
Huge lock up in the first corner. Now he's going to come up to the second one. He's going to have to hit the brakes really hard to get this thing stopped. Yeah, he's got it really turned in. Looks like he's got a lot of rear roll bar on it. The turn is massive on that thing. Really nice turning he's got in there. It's got heaps of grip up to the bit of a crossover. Love this track. It's going to use a bit of the brakes across the hill. And it's going to come down, smash it into third. It's going to stay in third the whole way. He's going to hit a bit of curb here. Come on the outside. He's a little bit of brake. You can lift, but if you've got the big kahunas, you can. But he's going to come over the top. Really nice over those curbs. Brake nice and hard. Go down to second gear. He's got to watch for the wheel spin on the exit. So you got to get the power down. Yeah, look at that. Awesome lap by Harry Dodds. And what is it going to be? It looks very good.
Comes to the line, and the lap is going to be
105.1.
105.1. So he will drop fractionally. He's dropped 2.5 tenths to 3 tenths of a second in terms of his qualifying time. Harry Dodds, first you get to be the inaugural runner of the Sim Racing World Top 10 Shootout. It's an eerie feeling after that qualifying session being out on track, mate. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, to be honest, I actually feel pretty good after that. Like, just good to get out of the way, really. Car didn't really hook up in the first part of the lap, though. I felt really quite understeery in a couple of spots, but other than that, just happy to get out of the way. Like, I get a 5-1, so yeah, relatively happy with that. But yeah, I reckon there's going to be a lot of fast guys trying to beat me here.
Well, when you talk of things and you say that there's 40 minutes or so, 40 cars that's out on circuit, you can guarantee that you're inside the top 10. It's so critical to get your qualifying effort in and make it at least a reasonable one. You're in the top 10 shootout, nothing really can go wrong from here.
Oh, definitely not, mate. Yeah, because you always got that one lap to yourself, and it's pretty much what you want, to be honest. So, yeah, pretty happy with that.
All right, mate, we'll see how it progresses as the session progresses. 105, 158. Congratulations on being the first car out, and best of luck here tonight, yeah?
Thanks a lot, boys. Cheers.
Yeah.
So as we come over the hill, Matty Stewart over the curbs. Now he's going to hit the brakes again, really nice. And like I said about no wheel spin, that's what you want. Very clean lap from Matty Stewart. Yeah, look at that. No wheel spin, that's what he wants. Now is he going to beat the 105.1? What's he got? Yeah, 104.8. Awesome lap by Matty Stewart. Now he's going to come into the booth in a second, so we'll just wait for him.
Yep, and then the next one out will be Zach Mack.
Big
Will be
old
the
Macca.
next driver to give it a whirl and see what he can come up with. But Chili Vin's in the booth, and as usual, I mean, there's no other attitude from Matty Stewart. It's just chilled out, mate. Second top 10 for your running within Sim Racing World, and it's a lovely venue such as Oran Park.
Yeah, look, I'm definitely a lot more happier this week than I was last week with my top 10 shootout result. Pretty stoked.
Mate, the lap not all that much different. How was the grip level out there? Did it improve? Do you feel more or less comfortable with your qualifying lap? It's the times are so close together. There's literally less than 300ths of a second between your qualifying time and your shootout time.
Yeah, look, it's just being the only car on the track and feeling the pressure. I think it's just the hardest part for me. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the time. I managed to hold my position so far. So yeah, so far so good.
In terms of things, this is probably one of the most important qualifying sessions of the season. Overtaking at Oran Park's difficult, and the other thing is you've got to be up at the front so that you're as far forward of the chaos that happens on lap 1 as you possibly can.
Oh yeah. The turn 1 here is definitely difficult, especially if you're trying to go 3 wide, which 3 into 1 here really doesn't work too well. If you end up in the grass wide, well, yeah, it was pretty much guaranteed to hit to the fence. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you sort of want definitely a good result up front to miss out on the carnage, but yeah, we'll see how we go.
Well,
Righto,
it looks
mate.
like you still P1, mate, so go and get him.
Yeah, congratulations. 104.8 seems to be the standard, brother, so great lap. Keep it going.
Cheers, boys. Have a good one.
Matty
So-
Stewart against Stewart, and Zach Mack comes through and actually manages to drop further back. He slots in behind Harry Dodds. Goes to P number 3. That's not necessarily going to be the most happy with that one. And he's just jumped in the commentary booth. Zach, mate, it went backwards. What was the big issue on that lap?
Nerves. first time doing this. It's very nerve-wracking. Right, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Fine,
On it-
sorry.
No, that's fine. Look, I mean, you know, worst comes to worst, you know, you can go out there, you can attack after a lap, and or at worst, you come away with P10 on the grid. You know, that's have a crack, and if it goes wrong, I think these exact words are actually said to Brock Feeney this year. You know, get out there, go hard, make some mistakes, and well, if you end off the track, you end up off the track, but you're at least having a stick.
Yep. It was fun. I mean,
Fun.
yeah. Hopefully I just get better in the future, and yeah.
Well, best of luck, man. And I mean, like I said, you're going to be starting from P10 at absolute worst, right up at the pointy end of the field, mate. So all the chaos is hopefully going to unfold behind you. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Have a good one, mate. So as we see Michael Whiting blowing up an engine. He's blown his engine. He's
That's a
off the
downshift.
track. Yeah, he's gone. That was his lap. Michael Whiting has blown his engine.
Was that me, or is that the second time that we've seen Michael Whiting?
That is the second time we've seen it. Michael Whiting, mate, you've blown your engine. What's happened?
I can't do any worse than P7, can I?
Yeah.
I changed the ratio halfway through quali, and I think I
Oh.
was just in the wrong gear, so I'm going to hear about that one a little more.
Yeah, I can imagine that, mate. I could definitely imagine that from your big team, but how was
Good
the
news.
rest of the lap, mate?
It was alright up until that point. Sectors were saying I was on for a reasonable time, similar to what I did in quali, so but here's what it is. This downshifted too early. It's not my favourite track. I've done zero practice, which is probably has an help situation.
Oh, mate, that sounds like, man, the TCRs the other night. That went terribly for me. So yeah, I can feel that one from you.
Yeah.
Look, it's a tough racetrack. We're just talking to a few of the guys about racecraft, and you know, it takes a fair bit. You can't just get out there and go for a race. You've really got to think about it. We saw a lot of chaos from the Bathurst 1000 there today, expecting much the same. What's the race plan?
Yeah, this track's not great for racing, especially pit exit, so you've got to be really mindful of the guys coming out of pit lane and give them plenty of room. And obviously try not to blow an engine probably is a good start.
Okay, and the final question I have for you is, your teammates are trying to tell us that we need to ask you about what the track temperature is. I'm assuming there's another in-joke coming our way.
The track temperature is the actual temperature of the track, just so they're aware. It's an inside joke.
I'm so proud of you. Oh my god, we are going to get on like a house on fire. Congratulations, nice lap there, Michael Whiting,
my
apart
God.
from the last corner.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, mate,
Best
good
of luck,
luck.
mate.
So as we see Brian coming around the last corner, he's on a pretty solid lap that we're looking at. Wonder what it's going to be. So Matty Stewart's still on top. Is he going to get a 5 or a 4? A 5 flat. So he second for now.
So that marker from Matty Stewart is
2/10 quicker.
Yeah,
That's-
that's the big one, isn't it? Now it's
Yeah.
everyone's all of a sudden going backwards, and well, we've talked to a few people so far, and they've said
Flying
nerves.
Kiwi.
It's getting the opportunity to set that lap and being comfortable with yourself, Brian. So that one's 4/10 down in terms of the qualifying lap, and that seems to be the marker from everyone. Everyone's going backwards from their qualifying laps. Is it nerves? What's the issue there for you?
Not really nerves. I guess I'm just trying to just keep it smooth and not go off the track. At least put a time in. So probably could have gone a bit quicker, but pretty happy with that. No mistakes really.
Look, at worst tonight, you can be, or there's going to be a minimum of 3 cars behind you with your blown engine for Michael Whiting. So it's going to be 7th at worst on the grid. That's a reasonable. You can go forwards, but you can go very much backwards from there as well. What's the race plan?
Look, I'm just going to try and keep it smooth and keep out of trouble, mate. It's going to be a pretty tough race, I reckon. So slow and steady wins the race, hopefully.
Lessons learned from the Bathurst 1000 starting today?
Yeah, I guess so. At least it's not a wet track, so.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. So nobody, all I've learned from the Bathurst 1000 today is that nobody from Australia wants to see rain on iRacing.
That's it. Can't win
Right,
on the
mate.
first lap either, so.
Yep, best of luck. Go get them
100%,
tonight. We'll
Cheers,
see what
guys.
you can do.
Good luck, mate.
Cheers, guys. Thanks,
So we
guys.
got David Coleman on his lap. Now he's coming around the corner. He's got the power down very well. The lap looks really good. See where he comes in. Where does he finish? No lap.
Like, I was
Off
going to
track.
say, I was gonna say I thought he just went a little bit too much over the curving
No.
in the O'Brien aluminium dogleg, which is a little flip flop in the last sector. So
Yeah, right. So the Flying Kiwi still on top, the chili bin. So yeah,
well, I was gonna say, look, we've seen 2 out of 250 drivers fail to set a lap here tonight. David Coleman, is the instructions to Blake here to go out, pick up an incident point, and start down the back of the top 10 with you?
He's a pro driver, so he won't do that.
Mate, I thought I might have seen a little bit of too much curb cutting coming through the dog leg in the last sector. Was that where it happened?
Yeah, you can get pretty greedy there. I was just that little bit too greedy, so P10's right around here. So
More importantly, have you changed the rear diff ratio away from Michael Whiting's ratio?
we do what we want here, I think. We don't follow his lead around here. That's 2 inches in a week for him, so hopefully the race goes well.
plus DSL at Silverstone. So yeah.
At this rate, with the amount of cars that you guys have got out on track and the amount of rate that Michael Whiting's going through engines, are you looking for some new sponsors?
Anyone who can supply some engines or a good shifter of some description.
Mate, we'll
Maybe
see if you can get a
shifters
functional
gone,
race
yeah.
engineer that can set up rear end ratios for you, so it's a fair bit better. Best of luck with
100%.
tonight.
Thank you, boys.
See you, Dave.
Starting at the back of the top 10 with the team boss in P9 and P10 at the
Oh,
moment.
Delaney's backed off.
I was about
He's
to
backed
say,
out.
I'm
Oh,
fairly certain I
no.
saw him pick up an off track as well.
Oh, so what? That's 3 fishy
3 from
cars.
3.
Wow. So Jamie Dyke's gonna have to break this. As we see Delaney just fishing across the line.
Blake, come
Mate.
on, mate.
Mate.
Yep, shocker.
Shocker.
Yeah, so that was grass, and it was coming through not the last dog leg. It was the Foster's dip in the middle of the lap.
Yeah. Well, Fishy Boys are putting on a show at the moment. I think Colvin buggered up his. Mike blew an engine, and I haven't set a time. So we're doing a good job.
So my next question to you is, Ty Delaney looks like the fastest driver from the Fishy Motorsports group. Does he do qualifying for you next week?
Probably. What was his name again? Sorry. What was his
Ty
nickname?
Delaney Jr.
What was the nickname you gave him the other night, though?
The
no
pocket
idea.
rocket. I called him the pocket rocket. Yeah.
You and I are on a roll with these nicknames.
Oh,
lately.
mate, Friday I was on a roll.
You just you got to roll on Thursday night. And you're like, all right, we
No,
started with nicknames.
yeah.
but worked out. Yeah,
Thursday to
we've gotta
Friday, Thursday to Sunday, mate, I was on a roll. Oh, Craig Schultz, massive lockup, turn 1.
start. So he's a fair bit wide. Chili Bin's starting to look even better. Blake, it's obviously Oran Park. We've already talked to a few guys about how difficult it is to overtake around here. You're going to have, well, at this stage, there's going to be 3 fishy drivers all right next to each other in the grid. Is it survive turn 1? Is it just communicate, maybe work together just a little bit?
We're going to have to look out for it. Yeah, we're going to have to look out for each other and be very careful. I don't think we need to conserve fuel. I think the tank will last the first race easily, and there's a 1 stop in the second. So I don't think there's any fuel strategy in this, really. It's just a 1 stop for the second race. And
make sure you're not
and
facing
some leaders.
backwards. Make sure the engine doesn't get blown.
Yeah, the
and-
shifter.
and
Oh,
don't-
massive slide.
Oh, he's picked up the grass. Is he going to pull it up in the final corner? Just barely.
Massive lockup. Wow.
I'll tell you what,
That was a good
Craig
lap.
Schultz
I'll leave it alone.
is not holding
Thanks,
back.
Delaney,
He's
mate.
gone
Good
out,
luck.
he's gone after it. He's green in all 3 sectors, which only means that he's improved on his own time, but he's gone to last of the drivers to set a time, a 1:05.3. He's dropped 0.8 of a second. No one has pulled off this qualifying stuff except for the chili bin.
For the chili bin. Craig, mate. What happened, mate? You were on a banger and it just locked up. What happened?
Just got a bit too excited. Not really used to these top 10 shootouts, and yeah.
Talk to us about the mentality, because obviously we've now seen 3 drivers fail to set a time. We've seen you make a fairly big mistake. We've seen Zach Mack was really unhappy with his laps, and he was very, very nervous. What's the mentality? What's going through your mind when you're setting yourself up for a single lap dash like this?
Yeah, it's just a lot of pressure to get it all right, so that you can start the race in a good position. But yeah, it was just too much, I guess.
Look, at the end of the day, are you happy that you sort of went out there and you had a crack at a big lap and it sort of didn't come off? You'd rather go out there and have a go than go conservative.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, all his boss man's watching, so he's got to put all on the line. So yeah, fair enough.
Mate, Oran Park, happy hunting ground for you. The time within the practice sessions and whatnot so far looks good. You look like you're on for a really, really good race with the times you were setting earlier.
Yeah, it's not really a favourite track of mine, but it seems to be going okay tonight. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
All right, mate. Well, best of luck. At worst, you're going to be starting P7, I think, at the moment. So get out there, get it down.
All right, thank you.
See you on the other
Well done,
side.
mate. So Jamie Dart looks like he's on a good lap here.
Please tell me he didn't just
cracker.
grind against the fence on the last corner. Otherwise, we would
Oh,
see all
has
four
he-
fishy drivers. He hasn't pipped Matt Stewart. He's gone to P2. Are you kidding me?
The chili bin is P1. What is going on?
No, surely not. Surely
The
not.
champion as P2. What has happened, Mr.
And-
Bus Driver?
Not quite sure. I got a little bit of rear locking into turn 3. And car was quite loose at the final corner. I probably lost a few tenths at the final corner.
Mate, you're only 700ths back from Matty Stewart. We were just talking about it. Absolute worst you can finish now is P3. So you're at
Yep.
least going to be on the second row or better. Short run down to the first corner. It's about maximising that start. It's about getting a clean start. It's about getting through that first lap, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Play it safe, really, to start off this race. At least I didn't, run off the track. I didn't blow an engine. I just, I got a banker in there. Matt's pretty good to race against, as is a lot of the boys up here. So I'll take that.
Mate, talk to us a little bit about the budget. So, look, I mean, there's apparently a lot of guys in your team throw a lot of budget for their cars at qualifying and not seeing a lot of dividends there. So, sack the financial advisor?
Oh, financial advisor would be McKnight in this case, but
Yep, definitely sacked. Yep, go on.
I imagine he's feeling a bit like Tickford at the moment, but yeah, we'll get,
There it is.
yeah.
All right, mate. And finally, your thoughts on whether or not iRacing should get rain after... Well, I said to a few guys at some point today, this is what iRacing would look like if we got rain after the Bathurst 1000 start.
Yes, I reckon without a doubt we should get rain. The earlier we get it, the more everyone can practice to get better at it.
Cool. I'll see you in a practice session where I can put you in the full 50 times. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that myself, mate.
No worries, boys. Have a good call.
Same to you, Jackie. Right, last corner at qualifying. Corey McFarlane's going to light it all up. Purple across the board. The last corner. The last sector. This is it.
What a
Ready to
lap
qualify.
time.
He goes to the top by 0.6 of a second. Your pole position. Your Melville Equipment Corporation pole position for the first time this season. Your first ever Sim Racing World Super 1 Top 10 Shootout winner is going to be Corey McFarlane. He's going to start it on the front row. Matt Stewart will line up alongside of him. I tell you what, Corey, there was a huge margin for you to stick it in there. You had 0.9 of a second from your qualifying time. At that point, you kind of go in and you go, look, I've just got to make this a clean lap and it's good enough.
Yeah, at the same time, I felt it was more in the qual lap, so just kept on it. Didn't want to back it off too much and make a silly mistake. So I was actually on to improve and then threw away 0.2 the last corner. So
Yeah, I was about to say there was a little bit of wheel spin. I was worried you're going to drift wide and just snag the wall there. It's a tricky place to get around here. We've talked to a few drivers about that so far tonight. But starting it from P1 is the best way to get your night off on the right foot.
yeah, that's it. Just trying to stay out of trouble, and starting P1 should hopefully help with that. But yeah, never know what's going to happen.
What's the target here tonight? So we're going to have 2 races here. Is it go and take the first one out, score maximum points in the sprint race, and then see what you can do from P10 on the grid? Or Is it just stay out of trouble, see how the race unfolds, see what the options are? Are you looking for opportunity whenever it rears its head?
No, it's just go full send and yeah, push as hard as I can in the first race just to try and get a few good points in the first one, and then just wherever I start in the second one, try and stay out of trouble for the first few laps, and then try and slowly work my way forward.
All right, mate. We'll head down. Best of luck. Congratulations on the Melville Equipment Corporation Top 10 Shootout victory. And, well, you've won the only Top 10 Shootout of the weekend in the V8 Supercars.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll give you an opportunity to say a big shout out to the sponsors before we get the dance going.
Yeah, thanks, Sim Sports, PPS, Sydney Computers, Matty Jones, teammate in here as well. And you guys putting on the broadcast and running the leagues.
Righto, Corey. Best of luck there tonight, mate. Get the head down, get out there, and crack some laps, eh?
Thank you.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, your first ever Top 10 Shootout for Sim Racing World's Super 1 and Super 2 Championship. Of course, we did have one last weekend as a retro round for the Sandown 50. It has now been run, one and done. 3 fishy cars out of 4 fail to set a lap. They've now got approximately a few minutes to try and get a new engine back into Michael Whiting's car. Good news is digital engines are a lot quicker and easier to replace than the physical kind, so they will have that one ready to go and out on grid. We're going to take a short intermission. We're going to set our race servers up in the background and get ourselves rolling for your first round of the Sim Racing World DSL Welding Services V8 Supercars Championship for season number 4. It's Oran Park, it's tight, it's twisty, it's chaotic, and it's all on the other side of this.
Evening, guys, and thanks for sticking with us through the intermission. We are in the process of setting up the grid, and we should be live any moment for our sprint session of Oran Park Raceway. Hey guys, please just bear with us. We will be going back live to the session any minute now. Thanks for being patient. We appreciate all the support. And let's get ready for an awesome race tonight.
Settle yourself in, get comfortable, and make sure you are comfy both in our commentary chairs and in your seats all the way back at home. We've got two races for you here tonight. First up will be a 20-minute or 20-lap heat race, and from there we'll move straight into a 40-minute or 40-lap feature race. What that means is with both of those races is it's whichever comes first. If we get to 40 laps before we hit 40 minutes, bang, that's your race distance. If we hit 40 minutes before your 40 laps, bang, that's your race distance. So anything can happen. And Connor, we've seen it already in qualifying. It's tough, it's tricky, and guys that are nervous have made mistakes. I'm expecting to see a few of those as we go four into the first corner doesn't go.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen the mistakes, like you said. Like, all the fishy boys made a couple of mistakes, but the biggest mover of the night for qualifying was Matt Stewart. He, finished up P2, but in quali he qualified 9th. So yeah, massive move by him. But yeah, I think the nerves are high, and everyone just needs to have be a bit relaxed, and yeah. Hopefully, it's a good race.
In terms of starts for the season, this is probably the most critical. We've already talked about how important qualifying is. But now that you've got qualifying in the books, you don't want to go backwards. You want to settle yourselves in. So The warm-up session has got less than 2 minutes on it. We'll be moving straight into the race immediately after that. Like I said, we'll have ourselves 20 minutes followed by 40 minutes for your race distance. Don't expect to be hitting our lap distances here tonight. No pit stop in your first race. Inverted top 10 for your feature race. And that's critical too, isn't it, Connor? Invert the top 10. That means whoever finishes in first place starts in 10th for the second one. And has a horde of Hungry Hornets behind them, chasing them down into turn number 1. The risk level goes up in that big pack.
I mean, I wonder if it's worth actually starting, like, finishing in 10th. Then you start P1 for the next race.
I mean, it will be. There'll be a few guys that'll probably back off a little bit, target that front row. You may see somebody in 7th or 8th intentionally drop a couple spots.
Yeah. But I think it's about bonus points too, because then you, at the end of the season, go, okay, I've had this many bonus points plus my normal points. So if, say for instance, Corey, he finishes up P1 for the first race, and for the next race he finished 4th or 3rd. That's still a buck ton of points that you walk away and go, that was a good round. So, yeah, it's a bit of a 50-50 if you want bonus points or you don't want them. So, yeah,
I got news for you. There's no bonus points. There's just points.
Points, yeah. I think of them as bonus points, but yeah, definitely there's points. Yeah, I think the first round is more of a who's got the quickest car, and the second race is more use your brain and really use strategy. But yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think of them as bonus points almost. But yeah, like you said, but I think it'll be interesting just to see what people do for the second race.
Well, coming to conclusion, checkered flag now out on the session. Your front row is going to be Matty Stewart off alongside of Corey McFarlane, who took out your first pole position of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a big shout out to our sponsors here for this evening as well. They critically make things possible for us. We've got GSL Welding Services as the V8 Supercars series sponsor. DragonRC is going to be the round sponsor here tonight. Primary Department will cover your safety car. And then Melville Equipment Corporation, your fastest lap. Warren and Brown, V8 Experience, and Toyo Sim are going to be the remainder of your sponsors here this evening. That is it. That gets us underway. It's time to take a look at our grid for the first round here tonight. It is off pole position. Grid positions have been shuffled. Something's gone wrong here. So anyway, we'll try and figure out what's going on there and get back to you. In the meantime, we're going to get ourselves ready for a start. It is all set up, ready to run. We're about to take off for the first time in this season on the run to turn number 1. And the lights are out. Cars in the back of the field not getting a great launch. The run down to turn number 1 commences. And who is going to come away with it? Stewart and Dyke are at the head of the field. They're going to try and snake their way to turn number 1. And will settle themselves in as best they possibly can. And there's a car already out and in the infield. It's Troy Dooley's already turning circles over in the grass, in the gravel traps. Dylan Thomas cutting his way through the field. That's Bruce Tannock in the Mag and Turbo entry. You can see the blue and white immediately ahead of him. That's going to be a critical car to keep our eyes on as the race here progresses tonight. Tannock's had a lot of pace over the last couple of seasons. Excuse me. And we'll see if he can continue to creep forward. Thomas has jumped a few spots off of the grid, but it's going to be Dyke that leads the way first off. And David Coleman's up a fair way as well, as right there in P number 2. Matty Jones is up to P number 3. David Blake in 4th. Hayden Norris, Cowan, McFarlane, Hattershed, Mottershead, Keane, and Bleakley your top 10. So drivers left, right, and centre all vying for position on the first lap. and there's 3 wide I thought I saw coming through the final corner. They've managed to get away with that one. The top 5 have got a little bit of a breakaway. 6 and 7 fighting each other off down into turn number 1. Cars starting to dive out. Everyone's looking for space on the opening couple of laps, and it's going to be who can get the head down, who can grab some space away. Zach Max in the middle of things, and Blake Delaney's been turned into turn number 1. There's a car on the exit. Zach Max on the inside as well, facing in the wrong direction. There's a car on the outside. 3 cars in turn number 1 facing the wrong way round, and that is not the way that they wanted to start tonight's race.
I think from that incident, it was actually Josh Schultz that caused that incident. It looked like he's put his nose up a bit too far, and that was the end of the 9-5 guys, but they'll try and work their way up as Andrew Cowan's off the road.
Yep.
So he's gonna
settled in and everything not running according to his plan.
Oh,
and there's
big
still
move.
scattering all over the place. Cowan's still trying to settle himself down in, and it's going to be the Mag and Turbo entry that's trying to settle himself in immediately behind him. Who's managed to buy their way forwards? Everyone's scattering and looking for their abilities.
Looks like Brian Sagasa's just moved away from Adam Proctor. Andrew Proctor, sorry. So good move by him, but yeah, Carey just does a huge move down up the inside. Great move by him.
Car off the outside. Bradley Mays escorts himself wide, just got a tyre in the dirt on the run down into turn number 1, and there was not much more he could really do about it, so he'll try and settle himself back down in. I can also see Linton Wills off the road as well, so cars continuing to scatter themselves up and down the field as they try and get everything back under control.
Yeah, what a hectic start. We've had David Coleman's actually must have had a bit of a mishap because looks like he's dropped back a little bit more.
See, Greg Johnson's backwards as well. Matty Keane is cutting his way. When opportunity presents itself, Matty Keane's one of the first ones that'll always be there to take advantage of it. Doing so yet again, all the way up in P8. That's a great performance from him so far. And have a look at the field start to spread. 1-2 already off on their own. 380s in the fence off of the last turn. It's Andrew Proctor who's vying for his own little bit of space that he can find anything to go his way.
Chris Blakely's done a really good move on being a Super 2. He's in 9th. Well done to him, being a Super 2.
Yeah, so drivers up and down the field, and remember, ladies and gents, Super 1, Super 2, not 100% locked in at this stage. They're still trying to sort that out, and sort that out they will. Josh Schultz is the car that's been black flagged for that incident early on in the running of things. And we'll see if we can bring you more action as it unfolds, because I tell you what, keep your eyes on that track map. That is how full it is and how many cars are out there. We're up into the high 30s in terms of our grid size here tonight. There's a lot of cars going out, a lot of cars going for positions, and Tyrone Walsh has just found his way into the wall on the outside there. I get a feeling he's going to request a tow.
Yeah. I think we'll have it. But Zach Mack's been black flagged as well. So, yeah, we've got a bit of a mover. Matty Stewart's been moving up through the field slowly. So that might be
Dylan Thomas as well.
Yeah, he's moved up massively.
No. Dylan Thomas has just received another drive-through penalty. So penalties for those lap 1 incidents are coming through thick and fast. And the new driver,
dodged him round. Oh, great save. Sorry. Oh.
The driver new to the Fishy Motorsports grouping will receive himself a drive-through pit lane.
Oh, sorry about that, Dylan. I'm gonna get that.
That's a joke. That's a joke. It's at Connor's expense, Dylan, not yours. We apologise to Dylan Thomas, who's been with that team for actually a fair while. But have a look at the damage from the rear bumper of Andrea Cowan, and it matches up perfectly with the front end damage. You'd have to say the next car in queue. I can tell you as well, there's a car off this road, and it looks like it's Matty Stewart, and he is a lap down. So Matt Stewart's gone backwards a massive way. We're looking at multiple different battle packs up here. This is Sam Noble, who performed so well in Super 1 last season. And again, up into that top 10 and doing a great job. He's just managed to get the job done on Matty Keane, and will start to try and pull away and get through as best he possibly can. So Matt Stewart was one of the drivers that was influenced in those lap 1 incidents.
Yeah. Looks like the grid's been mixed up a little bit. So yeah, I think everyone's just finding a bit of track position right now. So you see 2 wide with Brett Taylor. He's just going to back off there a little bit. Oh, someone's just trying to put the nose up the inside. I tell you what, the racing is just so chaotic. You just want to get a bit of room, but clearly you can't.
That's what we're talking about. There's less than 2 seconds a lap, 2 seconds of the lap with a car on it, you know, and the field is covering the entire course now. Covering it. May not show it on the stream, that's because we do have restrictions to the amount of cars we can actually draw in the server at individual points in time. But I can tell you that the track is completely covered. There is not a clear stretch of track at the moment.
Looks like Corey's making his way up to the front of the field with his teammate, Matty Jones. Matty's very good in the F3, so it's good to see his teammate with him.
Yeah, so there's going to be 2 drivers from Slended Sim Sports. They're going to try and chase down Jamie Dyke at the head of the field. Dyke is gone to the tune of 1.6 seconds. He's cleared out at the front end of this one. And they're going to try and track him down as best as they possibly can. There's a heap of gaps up there. Hayden Norris is doing a phenomenal job for the Riot Sim Racing crew. Harry Dodds is sideways in the middle of the course. Nearly had to. Brian Good's going to have to check up. There's a huge bottleneck right now around Harry Dodds as well. Brock Montezhead's on screen. He's defending quite aggressively here from David Coleman. I'll tell you what, it's happy birthday number 325, I think it is now for David Coleman.
Think about that, yeah. Oh,
he's right there. He wants it.
He really wants it. I think he might have made a bit of a mistake. He dropped back quite a bit because he was right behind Dyke there for a bit.
Sometimes we're talking to the drivers after qualifying and they said, yeah, you've got to survive, you've got to get through, you've got to be at the end of the race to score points. And a lot of them were taking that mindset from the sprint race here tonight, set themselves up for the feature race, drive themselves through the field, go towards Andrew Proctor's at a big slide, a big moment down into turn number 1, and will get away with it, although he'll lose a whole host of spots. And that's going to be I think that's going to be sort of the sign of the night, isn't it? It's going to be, you know, make a mistake, step out of line, and you're going to drop spots. So just settle in, do what you can.
Yeah, I think that's all it is just trying to be safe as much as you can, not get in an incident, and then drive it home, basically.
Here comes Coleman on Montezhead down the front straight. Once again, he's going to get the nose down the inside this time. Montezhead's to defense from the outside. Big lock up, and I think it was Montezhead. He's going to get a huge drift on. Coleman will sneak through the inside, tags him on the way through.
Big incident there. It looks like he's just rotated the car a bit too much and hit Coleman as well. Also, we see Cowie and Bruce Tannick, and then Christopher Bleakley in front. Then Brian Gasser, I think, is in front of.
He's still parked there. Coleman is still parked on the outside of turn number 1. Could not get back on the track. There was not a gap for him to rejoin. Sagassa's still trying to fight it out with Matty Keane here as he makes his way back through. But then, he's lost so many spots as DC.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of positions, but I think he's gutted because, yeah, he was right behind Jamie Dyke there for a second. And, yeah, as we see, we're on board with Braden Sagassa coming over the curbs.
Coleman was going down the inside for P6. He now sits 34th on the road. 28 positions lost for Coleman. And he is annoyed.
Yeah, I think anyone would be annoyed about that. But as we see, Brian Sagassa's just made a position up too. But as we see teammates here, Cowie and Harry Dodds. Very good.
Bruce Tannick's now just dropped off. No, Tannick has made a ton of spots. Tannick has grabbed a few spots there. So Dodds has made that error on that last lap. We did see that one. Down the inside now is Brian Good trying to steal that move away from Andrew Cowan. He'll try and settle himself back in.
Michael Whiting's too.
Whiting's there. And he'll have a crack in the fishing mobile. Still trying to sneak through, and Cowan still trying to hang on around the outside. Oh, huge moment for Brian Good. Now he'll try and recover it on the left-hand side of the road. Cowan's picked up an opportunity. We'll send it to the outside. Not quite going to get there. Good runs wide. Now here's the opportunity for Michael Whiting. Might have blown an engine during qualifying, but picks himself up a spot there.
Yeah, Michael Whiting's done an awesome up the inside. Massive slide on the X. He's done a great recovery drive with a new engine and a new gearbox from Michael Whiting. But, it looks like Cowie's having a look. Cowie's very fussy tonight. He knows he's got pace in that car tonight with no rear wing. But he's got pace, none on the left. But as we see Blake Delaney in 20th, made a move up the inside. Awesome move.
Cowie Sports are there and on the move here tonight.
As we see one of the TMX cars on the outside. It's a pretty good move if he can get it done well. He's still there. Is he going to commit? No, he hasn't. He's backed out. Good move, though.
Well, we'll settle ourselves down and see who can finally start to make some forward progress. I can tell you Coleman's picked up one more spot. Now he's just about to get on the back end of Greg Johnson's to potentially another spot that he'll go hunting. And he's gone, mind you, remember how he said he lost 28 spots? Well, he fell off the track in P6 at the time, P7 at the time. He rejoins 5 seconds up the road from his teammate, the leader. Now keep your eyes on this battle that's here on screen at the moment. Linton Wills is in this one. Jai Schultz. Looks like maybe Callum Hodgkinson's just ahead of these guys, and Dylan Thomas as well. So a whole bunch of cars still continuing to race on quite aggressively. Big wiggles from the whole bunch of them, and as they will try and settle themselves down. Schultz has managed to get through, and now he's starting to look to go clear from Linton Wills. Thomas and it looks like Matty Iben are the two that are balked up in behind him at the moment. Everyone's struggling to get good drive off of that last corner, and Ty Delaney's going to buy onto the back end of this pack in a moment. David Coleman's just had a huge spin off of the last corner. He's down in the infield. I think that might just be enough for David Coleman.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think David Coleman. Oh! Bit of a tap.
Harry Dodds, the performance sim racing driver, so Cowie's no longer in that picture. And that says that Dodds is going to start to try and get aggressive with the maggot turbo driver. Fires it down the inside. It's going to be a block off from Bruce Tenick. Tries to hang on to the position. Gets good drive off of the corner for both of them. But here comes Harry Dodds. He's looking to the move. Days are numbered, I think, here for Bruce Tenick.
Yeah, it looks like the two aggressive drivers have found each other. Good to see them on. So Harry Dodds is probably going to put it up the inside if he gets a move. No, he's going to block it from.
Here it comes.
No,
shows the nose.
Yeah, he's backed out of it.
Shows the nose and backs out. Try and get himself settled in. I can tell you what, David Coleman, after that spin, has made his way back across the pit lane. If you're following the Fishy Motorsports drivers, he looks like he's going to finish off the lead lap down in P37, potentially P38. That is going to make for a very, very long feature race for David Coleman, and another season starts off not the way he would have wanted.
Yeah, definitely not. I think the one person that wouldn't want it how it started was Matty Stewart, right at the back right now in 36. So that's not what he wants. But as we can see, Bruce's car's got no bonnet. Yeah, that will affect his performances. That's one of the TMX. That's one of the TMX's cars on the wall there. So that's no good. I think, who is that actually? Find out.
Michael Locke. It's Michael Locke in the number 10 machine smoking. He's made his way back to pit lane. Tanek still trying to defend from Harry Dodds. This is probably the battle pack to keep our eyes on, because this covers from P9 all the way back to P17, and it covers an entire short shoot underneath the bridge there.
Yeah, it looks like the boss from 1-9 is really doing well in this, so he's going to make a bit of a move on Matty Keane. No, he's backed out. Good driving from him.
So Bleakley it is that's caught up and boxed in there. So let's run through the drivers that are in this battle pack here at the moment. Matty Keane, Christopher Bleakley, they're the two cars you see fighting out the front. We've said a whole bunch about here. Bruce Tanek and Harry Dodds. Michael Whiting's in the back there. Brian Goods, Andrew Cowan still hanging on to these guys. The TMX car that you can see is Michael Quash, Peter Pavlovich, Dean Rudat, Blake Delaney, Daniel Clutterbuck, and Troy Dooley round out this entire pack. And have a look at them. They might start to fire down here 2 by 2. Dodds is looking for space to the outside of Tanek. Tanek's trying to get the job done here on Bleakley. Maybe It's a little move that they might have learned from Shane Gisbergen at Bathurst today. It's the bump draft. It's the art of NASCAR racing in V8 Supercars, and everyone manages to retain their position they fired in there. Johns will get a little bit of a check up there from Tanek. A little bit of contact there to the rear of that car as well. That'll be Michael Whiting starting to get involved. And a whole bunch of big names in this one. Tanek was at the front of the field last season.
Oh, as we could just see Michael
Here
Whiting
comes
putting the nose. Oh,
the nose down through the triangle here from Michael Whiting goes to the inside of Harry Dodds. Dodds is going to try and pinch him for room. Dodds will run fractionally wide. Now he'll get the inside run through one more corner. It's Michael Whiting that gets to the inside. Job done. Michael Whiting grabs himself a spot.
how's the racing tonight? It's just jam-packed. We've put all the best drivers that we can possibly get, and it's just hectic as we could see Harry Dodds just lost that position from Michael Whiting, and now he's going to have to deal with Bruce Tannock.
And you know what? David Coleman has resurfaced in that pack as well. I had a look. I did see a lapped car. Yeah, 38th position in that battle pack. If there's somewhere that David Coleman would probably prefer not to be right now, it's probably right there.
Yeah, I can imagine he doesn't want to be there at all. But as we just see Dodds making a move. No, he's going to go back to single file. Is he going to make a move? No, Whiting's locked up the front left a little bit.
I got news for you guys as well. We are 18 minutes and 30 seconds. So the next time by, where is our leader? Coming out of the last corner at this point in time, Corey McFarlane's actually run down. Jamie Dyke, I have a feeling we've got 2 more laps left. At least 2 more laps left. Sorry, 17 minutes and 30 seconds on your broadcast coverage timing. I'm looking for something, anything. When you've got this many cars flying by, it's so hard to keep track of where everything's going on and how long you've got left in the race.
Yeah, as we can see, Corey McFarlane and Jamie Dyke, the bus battle it out. Jamie Dyke was our championship winner last season, so you'll probably want to keep that title for just this race. As we see Corey on the back of his car. Corey looks like he's got a lot of pace in that car right now. So we go back to P.
Peter Pavlovich here running in P number 17. He's going to try and fire it down the inside here of Andrew Cowan. Cowan runs it deep in and around the outside as well. Michael Quash, I believe, is the TMX driver just ahead. Cowan gets really wide there off the exit at turn number 2. Now the run down at turn number 3. Underneath the Yokohama Bridge, Pavlovich gets the outside, and Cowan will hold on to that one down the inside. But Cowan starting to struggle with that damage to his car.
Yeah, it looks like he's dropped back a few spots. Now we're back to Michael Whiting. But he's been a big mover as well. As we can see, one of the cars off. Who's that?
Michael Locke, I think it was. It was just requesting a tow. Very, very slow car there at the outside of the track at that point in time. It's another one of the SLM cars as well. I think that may have been... Cowie's actually just run wide. There's a huge incident at the tail end of this one. Andrew Cowan now in the infield facing in the wrong direction. And it was Andrew Proctor, who was the car that was running real slow, and he's the car that's off the track as well, and just towed out of the background of that shot. There is chaos and carnage unfolding everywhere. Proctor was trying to let that whole field go. We have 19 minutes and 30 seconds now lapped on this clock. Where's our race leader at this point in time? Coming down the last corner, so we'll be able to get our white flag. There'll be one more lap to go the next time they cross the start-finish line. Bleakley now gets to the inside here. Matty King gets a big wiggle on as he tries to pick up the throttle and runs it up the hill towards the bridge. They'll crest it. They'll go over the top of the Yokohama Bridge. Now back down through the flip-flop. Everyone vying for that little bit of space on the last lap. Well, second to last lap here of this race now. Right, Jamie Dyke's still got a hold of the lead, so he will pick up the white flag and has done so now from Corey McFarlane at this point in time. Matty Jones is in P3. He's 8 seconds back off our race leader, but they are side by side just about at this point in time. It's going to be McFarlane and Dyke through the last part of this lap, head to head. Tyres starting to wear. 20 minutes on those tyres. They've pushed themselves as far as they can possibly go, as hard as they can go. McFarlane has got about 3 corners left to run now as he'll try and build it up to see if he can set himself up for a move on Dyke at the last corner. The dogleg for the final time, and it looks like Jamie Dyke's going to have it. McFarlane tried a last-minute dive, but there's not to be. Jamie Dyke going to come away with race 1, round number 1 win. It's the sprint round. He'll take it. Oh, white flag. So we still got one more lap left to run. No, they're both on the brakes as they cross the start-finish line. So that will be it. They're both done at this point in time. Somebody rejoining just in front of the leaders. So that will be it. I'm keen to see who's in that battle pack still from P8 backwards. Sagasa's now been caught by that trailing battle pack. And it's going to be Matty Keane that's at the head of this one. They're dodging a slow car in the final sector. They all scatter. And I think that was for position as well. It was. Somebody's out of fuel. It's Sam Noble. It's Sam Noble who has ran out of fuel as they come down the last sector and they get back to the line. Noble might have been expecting one less lap within that race, but they will complete the full 20 laps, why don't you? As they cross back through the start-finish line. Oh, my word. Harry Dodds, mind you, will pick up P10 and will start on the front row for race number 2. Michael Whiting with a fresh engine in that car will be along his outside. Matty Keane at P8. Jamie Knight comes away with the race win from Corey McFarlane and Matty Jones. The two Senate Sim Sports drivers make it to the podium. My word. That was 20 of the most furious minutes that I've seen.
Looks like that was a amazing race from all of them. A lot of them made a lot of spots up, as we can see the results now. With Jamie Dyke the lead, with P1 coming away from it, then Corey, then I think that is Matt, which I'm pretty sure. No, sorry, timings just went down. My bad. Yeah, Matty Jones with P3, but looked like it was just hectic the whole race, Scotty. There was just no brakes. It looked like from P7 kind of back, that was it.
Are you kidding? I was struggling to try and suck some oxygen down at some point.
Oxygen? What's oxygen, Scotty? I don't know. What's oxygen?
My word.
I think for our first round, just seems like the GT3s all over again.
Oh, that just kept going and going and going and going. Oh, word. What a hectic race. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you think that I'm worn out after that one, we got 40 more minutes. I am going to pass out in my chair, and you guys are going to be here to listen to that going on. If you are enjoying everything that you're seeing here tonight, don't forget to smash the like button. It's just like taking your hands out and smashing them together for a round of applause, but digital. Smash the like button, whether you're over on Facebook or on YouTube. It really lets us know that you're enjoying the performance of everything going on. You know who else we want to take our hands out and smash them together for? It's going to be all of our sponsors. Warren & Brown Tools, TSL Welding Services, Melville Equipment Corporation. You saw Corey McFarlane take out your Melville Equipment Corporation pole position for round number 1, race number 1. Racecraft Simulations, Toyo Sim, DragonRC, and the promo department are the guys that make it all possible. Con Nixon, you are taking care of the next 10 minutes of commentating. I'm going to try and suck some oxygen in for race 2.
Yeah, I was like, he's got to breathe at one point, but yeah, as we see, Scotty Rankin just absolute, as we call him, the rattle gun.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a supplier of oxygen tanks, Sim Racing World is currently looking for your sponsorship for me.
I think we'll just plug you up, Scotty, and you'll be all good, bro. Just a tube through your vein and just like breathing. Oh my god! But
who's those celebrities that have been putting their voice into AIs and things at the moment so that they can keep earning money after they're no longer. Was it? It was the guy from Fast and Furious, wasn't it?
Might have been. I haven't heard of it.
Vin Diesel. Yeah, Vin Diesel plugged his personality, his voice, and his likeness into an AI.
Yeah, right.
So you can now have Vin Diesel's AI voice in movies going forwards. I need that for me.
Attractive. Very happy. Very happy. But I don't think coming away from the results, it looked like we had a bit of a mix-up of a grid.
Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
That was madness.
Yeah, it was. And I think looking away from it, like, we don't really have our Super 1s and Super 2s really finaled out yet, but from what I've seen tonight, like, Christopher Blakely put himself down as Super 2. He just finished 11th out of 40 cars. So I think he's definitely in Super 1. But there was a bit of a mix-up. Like Matty Stewart started right at the back, but then we had like people like Matty Keane up there, like who definitely needs to be up there because yeah, he's such a contender that just knows how to drive the car and drive it well and just drive away with it. And talking about driving away with it, Jamie Dyke, like where do we put him on the spectrum? Corey was right with him there too. But I think Corey's
where do we
quite
set him
happy.
on the spectrum? We set him at the alien level.
No. I think a planet. I think a planet's better. Alien.
Okay. Outer space, out of this world. That's what his base was like. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. But I think, yeah, like Corey was right there too. But even Matty Jones, like he's right there. Like we normally see Matty Jones in the F3s, but he's just. Matty Jones is one of these guys where he can just jump into something and drive it to the limit. You know, we've seen Jamie Dyke in the Supercars and dominate just how consistent he is with dominating. But now we got Matty Jones in the SRW Supercars. Yeah, like I said, he normally drives the F3s, which are a completely different car with heaps of downforce, heaps of grip, and all that. But he's jumped in a supercar. He's just finished P3. Like, where did that come from? So, yeah, like, shout out to all three of them. They're unbelievable good drivers. But, yeah, it was interesting seeing Michael Whiting coming through the field too. Same as Blake Delaney.
Woo! Alright, we're going to get ourselves set for race number 2. We've got 40 minutes left. We've got 4 minutes before we get cracking with that. Far out. Shout out to the guys from SLM Gating. That's Matty Keane right there. He says, I'm absolutely bleeped, and there's still a 40-minute race to go. Yeah, that's racing at Oran Park for you.
Yeah. I think he's nailed that with the hammer. It's one of these tracks where you can't breathe. The only beat you don't even have a...
They can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I'm the only one with oxygen. But like you've got the straight, and you get on the straight, and you think, oh, now I can breathe. No. You silly white boy. Like you've got to. It's defending from the last corner, getting the power down. Right, you've got the power down. You're halfway down the straight, and you're like, okay, now I can breathe. No. You've got a left that is not even... You're not even braking in a straight line. You've got to turn left, smash the brakes, go down the gears, then turn again. Like, what? Who makes a corner like that? Like, come on. Why? Let's put a supercar on it, but seriously, I think... I don't think we could have gotten any better for that, but... yeah.
Let's go, boys. Oh no, don't say that to me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we're going to do? We're going to ramp up the excitement for race number 2. We have just hit a huge couple of goals on both of our social media channels. Shibby, can you just read those back to me? We just hit 350 subs, I think it was, over on YouTube. That's a new season high for us. That's so important because that says to us that you're enjoying not only the racing action that we're able to bring to you, that also means that you're enjoying the commentary that we're bringing your way, and I can't say enough. Yeah, it really means a lot to me to have you guys out there supporting us, supporting Connor and myself, as well as all of the broadcasting talent that comes our way. And Shibby, what was the count over on Facebook as well? 730 followers over on Facebook. So combined, we are now well in excess of 1,000 followers across both of our social media streaming services. And that's just our streaming services. Don't forget, if you see a driver out here, send it SimSports' Corey McFarlane, go and look for them on social media as well. Make sure that you support them all that are possible as well. DragonRC, the round sponsor here tonight. DragonRC is so huge. They are an Australian-owned company based in Melbourne. They retail and dispatch wholesale goods to customers in Australia, New Zealand, and Asia. They have the capacity to dispatch goods directly from the warehouse in Melbourne or directly from their partner factories in China. They are all about manufacturing and designing parts within model aircraft, especially in the area of jets, large-scale civilian warbirds, aircrafts, and gliders. They pride themselves in the quality and craftsmanship that they stand behind on all of their products. They contain gliders, aircrafts, and engines, both fuel and electrics for all of those. Turbines for RC jets, electronics, and accessories. They even contain a second-hand and used session. So for people like myself, I grew up not able to buy games directly from the AAA game shelf as soon as things came out. You do exactly the same thing if you're looking for your ability to get into the RC world. DragonRC will have a second-hand RC product for you. They're the most competitive product supplier with lower prices and the highest of qualities. Their motto is simple: we want to give our customers the products they want at a fair price with efficient delivery, backed up with the best customer service and support in the industry. So that's it. That's DragonRC. That's what it takes to be a Sim Racing World sponsor, and it is that commitment to quality that makes it possible for them. It's committed to quality makes it possible for us. Ladies and gents, we're going to be back with race number 2 here in a few moments. Connor, standout driver from race number 1, because that would be a tricky one to pick, I'd say.
Honestly, I know he's my teammate and I know he's my boss, but honestly, I'd go Christopher Blake. Like he's just he doesn't drive this, and I can't stress this enough. He does not drive these things, and he's jumped in and he's just finished 11th. Like, come on, who does that? Like, he's a madman.
Freak.
Yeah. So I think the one to look out for is him. Bruce Tannick, he's got a lot of pace, but he kind of just got stuck. Then he got caught up in a few little incidents. Blake Delaney, he's quick. The pocket rocket, Ty Delaney.
He loves that nickname,
yeah.
By the way. He loves that nickname. Righto, it is going to be moving on to our feature race here tonight with your reverse top 10, and that means that Harry Dodds is going to take out a pole position for race number 2 for Performance Sim Racing. Off alongside of him is the Fishy Motorsports mobile of Michael Whiting. Matty Keane makes it on to row number 2 along with your stablemate Braden Sagassa from 19 Sim Sports. Brock Mottershead and Hayden Norris off of row number 3. David Blake and Matty Jones row number 4. Corey McFarlane and Jamie Dyke round out your top 10. Chris Bleakley, Brian Good at the tail end of our first page. There's so many of them here to try and get through tonight as well. We're going to try and get through as best we possibly can. 13, Michael Quash, Peter Pavlovich, Blake Delaney, Daniel Clutterbuck, Dean Reddit, Matty Skulls, Brett Taylor, Craig Schultz, Troy Dooley, Jai Schultz, Andrew Cowan, Chris Mill, Hodgkinson, Bradley Mays, Dylan Thomas, Sam Noble, Bruce Stanek, Lynn Wells, Matt Ivan, Zach Mack, Ty Delaney, Matt Stewart, Greg Johnson, David Coleman, and we're going green, so there'll be a couple of drivers that get cut off, and that is what it looks like as it rounds Scarpers to try and find that clear track on the run down to turn number 1. 14 minutes coming your way with what looks like a whole bunch of moves. Contact on the way down to turn number 1. That looks like Skulls was making contact. Somebody's in very deep and sideways in the Kelly Racing livery. It's one of the 19 Sim Sports guys. David Blake around the outside manages to hang on to that one. They'll all slot in on the run down to turn number 2, and Dodds is still managed to come away from Michael Whiting. Braden Sagas has picked up one spot, drops into P number 3. Brock Mottershead has got P number 4. Matty Jones has got a whole bunch of spots, and Keane has gone backwards off the start, all the way down to P number 6. Everyone looks like they made it through turn number 1, turn number 2, and turn number 3 as they turn and head up the hill through the middle of the track for the first time. Look at the right, Sim Sports guys side by side as they come over the bridge. Now they'll come down through the flip-flop for the first time in the feature race, and they've managed to make their way through. Everyone's starting to spread out. 39 drivers I saw out there for our feature race here tonight. David Coleman was at the very, very back of them all. He'll try and pick off a whole bunch of spots as soon as he possibly can. Have a look at the Pocket Rocket as well, making his way through in 34th place. That's what it looks like from the tail end of the field. Somebody already going slow in the middle of the track and has dropped a long way off the tail end of the pack, but it's Harry Dodds who will lead laps here tonight, and this is a confidence boost that the Performance Sim Racing driver needed.
Yeah, definitely needed a bit of a confident booster, and if he needs one, this is it. Harry Dodds has been a bit down recently, but he is definitely on point tonight. Bring back with a bang. He came off, had a bit of a break for a bit, but now he's back on the train. He's got Michael Whiting behind him, and I'm sure he.
Oh, there's an incident. There is an incident. The car dropping quite quickly. It's Troy Dooley who's just immediately dropping right down through. Bruce Tannick as well as dropping way, way back. And there'll be a few drivers who will try and catch up with a little bit of something. I don't see contact there on Troy Dooley, so it may be self-inflicted from him as he's gone around And we'll try and slip into the pack as well. Colin Hodgkinson right in the middle of the field. He's trying to pick up as much as he possibly can. Zach Mack immediately in behind him. A slow car there on the left-hand side has dropped back a few spots. It looks like Peter Pavlovich was a long way up. Andrew Cowan's dropped all the way down
Josh
to
Schultz is there.
P27. Josh Schultz as well starting to make his way through. He was a long way back. Remember that penalty he got in the first race as well. Hodgkinson's still trying to hang on to that thing on the last corner and the run down the front straight. And I tell you what,
Josh Schultz is on the right-hand side. He's going to make a move down the inside. Great move up the inside. Someone's off the track.
yeah, there is a car off over on the right-hand side. It's going to be Bradley Mays for the second time tonight. Not
Matty
pulling the
Stewart's
car up.
coming through.
On the way through, Matty Stewart from the rear of the field is trying to make his way back through. So there's a few cars that were a long way down there.
Old Chili Winner's going to come through the field. It was actually his birthday today, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It's his legit birthday.
Actual birthday?
It
Not
is.
his fishy birthday?
It's his actual birthday. As we heard, it's David Coleman's birthday, but yeah, it is Matty Stewart's birthday, so
But it was also
anyone just
Jamie
say happy
Dyke's
birthday.
and Jamie Dyke, Blake Delaney, Ty Delaney's, and Michael Whiting's birthday as well.
But yeah, it's his birthday today. He got quite a bit of Lego, so yeah, make him feel nice and young. But yeah.
Mate, I'm one of those guys. I might be 30 years old.
Oh,
down the
up the
inside,
inside,
Jamie Dyke is going
go.
to fire it and try and get that job done. Does so on Hayden Norris. Another spot taken away from the Riot Sim Racing boys.
But yeah, he got some Lego today from his partner, so yeah, make him nice and
Big
young.
win.
So he's 35 today.
Big
Matt
win.
Stewart.
That's a big
Yeah.
win, getting Lego on your birthday. I wish I still got Lego on the birthday. Riot Sim Racing on the inside, into the side of Andrew Cowan. Riot Sim Racing driver, who was that? That was Matty Scholes, who was trying to pull it up on the grass, and Josh Schultz is now missing a bonnet on his car from Platinum Sim Racing.
Well,
My word.
so Matt Stewart's been up 10 spots, the birthday boy. So he's up 10 spots today. And then Andrew Cowan's in 24th. Christopher
I can tell you what.
He's in 32nd.
We're going to tick off another lap. Harry Dodds has led another lap here tonight. Again, we're talking about confidence. Well, he's leading on them.
Yeah, he definitely is, and that's what he needed. But we got Michael Whiting behind him. But as we know with Michael Whiting, just
Oh,
stays
big
still,
slide
but-
through turn number one. Who was that? That was
Matty
Matty
Jones.
Jones. Yeah, I was about to say that's a sissy driver, but we'll see if they can settle it down. Yeah. We'll move on to that one later. Senate Sports. SISS. Why?
We got a
Because,
top
you know-
three. Top three in a really good battle. We got Harry Dodds, Michael Whiting, and Brayden Segassa. And the green-eyed I'm going to call him the Mustang. But yeah, it looks like Michael's in a bit of a sandwich right now.
Well, I want to see a Shell V-Power DJR Mustang with mud down the side of it. I want to see the Mudstang after today.
Or the tick-fit car in the wall with Matt Campbell in it.
No! Are you kidding? No, he that wasn't his fault. He was just a.
I know.
You must be causing disaster. You need to calm down, sir, or I will have you escorted from the commentary booth.
As I love to wind him up, chat. So yeah, that's talk about
Mate.
Tickford.
Mate, I need to choose new racing buddies. That is for sure.
Oh yeah. But as we see the top three right now, awesome result by Brayden Segassa and Harry Dodds right now. Definitely, Brayden's very new to the Supercars as well, so it's good to see him on track and really up the field.
He's new to the iRacing supercar. He's driven the supercar and project cars too a lot.
Yeah, he's definitely told us about those stories.
Alright, yeah, so the top 8 have now broken away, and then it's P9 on through to P17 in your next queue, and there's a huge margin between those 7 seconds between those two packs, and here it comes. Segassa's going to try and get to the inside of Whiting, the Fishy Motorsports driver, defending from 19 Sim Sports. Segassa's going to get them out there, try and shove it down the inside. Whiting's going to have to try and defend it from the high side. They'll turn it into turn number 1, the run to turn number 2, trying to pull it up. I thought Whiting was on the grass there for a few moments, but no, he manages to hang on to it around the outside. Great attack, great defense, great driving all around.
Tannick's off the road. Oh no! What's happened to him? No bonnet, no, he's got nothing. There's nothing on the car.
That's such an odd spot. Halfway down the front straight.
Birthday boy's up the inside. And now on the outside.
Loses a spot now to Matty Stewart. So Stewart's going to steal that one away, and the field is going to get frozen as we get the first safety car here tonight, 7 laps in. So we went further than the V8 Supercars at Bathurst 1000, but we'll now freeze the field.
Same as the F1 too. But as we it's the promo department safety car with Bruce Tannick.
Here it is. Oh, somebody's trying to get into the pit lane, and they've just had to avoid it, and Tannick's just wrong place, wrong time.
DSL Welding Services replay too. Thanks to those guys. Wow, what a crash.
New Zealand, one of New Zealand's absolute stunners in terms of drifting drivers is Bruce Tannick in the real world, and he will know that is just wrong place, wrong time. The car on the outside has got no opportunity to try and check out. We have to try and figure out who that was. Steven Thomas. Steven Thomas. I can tell you straight away, I know that number. Of course, he's new to the Fishy Motorsports team.
You're gonna do that for a while.
I've got to get mileage out of it, mate. You've got so many things you can sling on me. So as soon as you offer me one, don't offer me one. That's your simplest opportunity.
Thank you for DSL Welding Services.
Don't try and dig yourself out of a hole here.
Oh, it's gonna be a long afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. But thanks to all those guys. But how's that for a crash though? Because 3 wide, well, obviously someone's went in the pits. Then Dylan's had nowhere to go, so he's just And I think from that point of view, like, you can't do anything. Like, what do you do? Like, so I don't know what race control will do about that, but as we have the promo safety car out.
You know the best thing that's going on about here? There's going to be amazing racing when we go back green. The chain of cars, ladies and gentlemen, coming into the last turn now, goes all the way back to Momo Corner, which is the kink before we come up the hill to the flip-flop. All the way back there. It's so long. It is so long. Are you kidding me? Look at the length of cars.
That's definitely not a foot long. That's it's the
whole front straight. It's the whole front straight.
Now we'll just watch them all go by.
I've never seen that before.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. That's 40 cars, no?
39. So it's 40 cars with the safety car.
So 40. Let's call it 40.
Let's call it a nice even 40 and be done with it.
Yeah.
Oh, and remember, ladies and gents, entries for the V8 Supercars are closed. The DSL Welding Services V8 Supercars are closed. Why? We hit 50 cars. We hit 50 entries before tonight. We hit that yesterday.
You're not going to believe it. The birthday boy, the actual birthday boy, Matty Stewart, is up 21 positions from 34th to 13th.
He's blown out the candles on the cake way too early, mate.
Who needs a birthday cake?
Look at that shot. Look at that. Can we go back? I need to see that shot again of Matty Stewart. Can we get that shot back up? There was the driver photo of Matty Stewart. Check this out.
Oh, yeah.
Check this out. Look at that.
Oh, man.
I've heard of Blake Delaney being called the male model.
Oh, he is the male model, mate.
But the reason you call him Chili Bin isn't because he's just so calm, cool, and collected. It's because he looks like he's just crawled out of a chili bin.
Oh, bro, look at him. Look at him. Maybe he's the 1.9 male model. Maybe.
That's what I was about to say. Does 1.9 have a what do you call it? A makeup department?
For me, they do.
That's a waste of money. That's an absolute waste of money.
Oh. Oh yeah, that was terrible. Yeah. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, we'll. But yeah, so do you reckon he's the male model, Scotty?
No. He's the male model's understudy. But anyway, we'll move on.
But yeah, so you see Top Gun Matty Stewart. There's a little names for him now. Mr. Consistent, Chili Bin.
Here comes the wave arounds down the inside, which is why the cars are all parked up the road. You would have seen this in the V8 Supercars too today, and it's a rule that's been adopted, mind you. Guess from where? Go on, guess.
Formula 1.
NASCAR.
And what's that?
The lucky dog rule in the wave.
Lucky dog. Wow.
Yeah. Because all the drivers in the V8 Supercars series jumped on iRacing and did iRacing oval races in the V8 Supercars, and they went, "Have a look at this. This is fantastic. This is really, really good. We need to incorporate this into the real series." And they started doing it. And
Really?
you know why they do that is because if you have a look at American sports are very, very viewership oriented, and it was a ruling that keeps more cars active and more fans engaged with their favorite drivers getting back into the race, which is why they incorporated it.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a great way to put it together. Yeah, it's. I think we're going green this time.
No, we've got one more.
One more, yeah. How's this? Craig Schultz is in P9 too, from 20th. So I'm sure the boss man, Mr. McNamara, will be happy. You know who I'm not surprised that who I am surprised that's not in here, is all the 9-5 guys. If there's one or two, there's all of them normally. Like Johnny, McNamara, Dylan Rudd. I thought they'd all be, yeah, couldn't make it in. But
I'm sure they'd love to be out there on track, but yeah, there's no spots left. So
next season.
Well, they'll have to get in next season.
Yeah, well, that'll be an issue.
They might have to start signing up now. Wait,
maybe I should do it next season. Or do you want me to? Bro?
Well, I love you so much here, Pix, that I'm. This is my only week that I'll be commentating V8s.
Oh.
So, I love you so much. I've stapled you to the chair. You can't leave, and I'm running away.
Yeah, stapled to the chair, and that's it. That's my spot.
Yeah, somebody get the super glue out.
Oh man, I'll need more than super glue.
We're going to super glue that microphone to your forehead in a minute.
I'm sure Mr. John Lee would figure out a solution.
Righto, they're going to settle themselves down. 40 minutes is the race distance. There's going to be a few cars down the back who have taken the opportunity to come down, fill up, and take a pit stop. Bruce Tanek is in pit lane still and laps down Blake Delaney. Is taking a pit stop. Peter Pavlovich. There's a few cars at the tail end of town from 34th backwards have pit. They're now coming to the last corner, which means Harry Dodds has control of the field.
And he's gone.
Track has just been registered as green, and Dodds has gone for it out of the final corner. Weaving to get some heat into those tyres on the run down to turn number 1, and the field will make its way down for the safety car restart once more. 2 cars already finding their way off. It's going to be Modest and Jamie Dyke into turn number 1. True's going to be able to get that move done. It's Dyke that'll slice and dice on the inside. Dyke moves up into P number 4.
As we see Brain Sagassa almost making a move on Michael Whiting as well.
Well, he's got to get himself going, because the issue is, if he doesn't, Dyke is going to be all over him in a matter of moments. If he's side by side, there's going to be nowhere for Dyke to shove that nose.
Yeah, 2 Mustangs, so yeah, Braden Sagassa might need to make a bit of a move here. As,
backwards.
You don't want to be a fishy sandwich.
I can tell you there's somebody about 31st, so it looks like Bradley Mays is the car that's sideways hit again. There he is, down the inside, not having a great night, is Brad Mays from OMFG Motorsport. He will try and wrap himself up and get himself rolling once again. And kind of come off turn number 12 once more. Recaro corner and the run down the front stretch. Who's going to try and get a jump? Matty Skulls has found his way from the boat ramp, and he has put the car in the fence instead. So he was on the blowout of race control there and trying to get resolution for something. Still on the outside here. Contact just ahead of him. There was a few bump and runs, but I think that was Walsh just ahead of him that was getting bumped. It was, who's just immediately in front.
Seems like the top 4 are really getting feisty now. Michael Whiting. Oh!
Matt Iben still trying to get that car rolling. And we'll get overtaken by a couple of guys. And that's Corey McFarlane, who's a long way down the order now.
Matty
Jones is immediately in behind these guys as well. McFarlane's going to get down the inside, gets the job down now on Troy Dooley. Skulls are starting to check out on these guys. Positions up, down, left, and right. You got to look everywhere. And back at the front, it is going to be Harry Dodds this time that is starting to get caught by those cars behind him. Last time he set himself and got away. This time out there all crawling over his rear bumper. I think that was Michael Quash who was trying to wiggle off and try and shake somebody off down the front stretch as well for the TMX car. Down the inside, having to defend it off because Michael Whiting's trying to go around the outside. It's the long way around. And now Dyke's going to try and buy into this argument as well. Defends it down the inside, tries to shove the nose on the next car up ahead. Whiting, he blew a motor in the top 10 shootout, didn't get to set a lap, but now he's trying to show his skills for all money.
Yeah, so we're on board with Brian Sagassa with the new livery on for his suit, which that's but anyway, Michael Whiting's right in front of him. He's going to have a little bit of a look in the inside. He's lost a bit of time there, so Dodd's just going to get a little gap from it. Dyke's just dropped back a little bit just to give him a bit of breathing room. And there it is. But yeah, a bit of breathing room. So Braden, this is where his opportunity should be. So down the front straight. Back to Matty Stewart. Top Gun. Right up the inside.
It's going to be on Sam Noble, who's going to try and defend it around the outside as well. So Noble's now going to try and hold off a hard charging Matt Stewart. He's going to try and get down the inside. He's got the run here, Stewart. He's still down the inside. They're still side by side of the run into turn number 1. Now it's going to be Noble that's most of the way up there and ahead. Noble's deep down here into turn number 1, but defends it from the outside. Back up in the lead, Harry Dodds has still hung on to things. Nothing has changed back up there. We dive deep back into the paddock. It's going to be Matty Jones that dives down the inside of Troy Dooley and gets that job done as well. Big lock up there as well from a few of those guys. Greg Johnson's only just up the road, which is just here as well. So keep your eyes on that blue car. It's Greg Johnson. He's doing his best job that he's done in a fair while for Greg Johnson. That's a great drive from him here as well. And Bleakley now has moved up a spot back in the pack on Linton Wills, who's trying to get clear of things, and he'll set his sights on Jai Schultz, who's the next car up the road. Schultz not having a great night whatsoever.
Yeah, it looks like he's made a few mistakes and hit a few people, so yeah, that will definitely affect his race.
David Coleman has been black flagged for the incident. So we saw Scholes was in the outside barrier, and it was Coleman that's made contact with Scholes and put him in the fence. So that is what happened way down the field. Yeah.
What a great beard Hayden Norris has got. Fine looking beard.
Fine looking man. That's awesome from Hayden Norris.
Yeah.
Right,
awesome,
boys.
Yeah. Keep growing that beard, mate. Shaved
Greg
off.
Johnson's around in the last corner. He had a huge incident the other night in TCR here on Wednesday. Just going to try and get this one reviewed. Michael Quash now trying to defend it off from Zach Mack, who still trying to assault him.
You know what's funny? We had 40 GT3s the other night. Now we've got 39 supercars at Oran Park. On a smaller track than Watkins Glen. And half of them are, all of them are still on track. It's incredible.
Yep. Oh, here it all comes. Matty Jones has just been given a drive-through penalty as well, so he's come to grief with the stewards a few times here tonight. He'll walk away from tonight with a few things that he'll need to look at, a few things he'll try and improve on in terms of the driving standards. Now the leaders here are starting to catch up on the rear bumper of Jai Schultz, who's a lap car immediately ahead.
Yeah, Jai will need to get out of the way pretty quick because he's got a hard charging Harry Dodds. Harry Dodds is not going to wait up for anyone. He's got to try and move as quickly as he can because you do not want Michael Whiting behind you and Braden Sagassa. These guys know what they're doing. They are aggressive when they need to. So Dodds has got a bit of a gap. Michael Whiting's saving a little bit of fuel coming up the hill. And he's got to go down through the flip-flop, as Scotty Rankin calls it. Bit of curb. Now we're on the back of Michael Whiting's car. Awesome shot of that big piranha on the side of it with the green-eyed monster right in the rear. Come through over the top. Awesome curves, hard on the brakes. Now he's going to try and get a bit of grip on the outside. There it is. They've got the grip. They're on the straight now. Braden Sagassa a bit sideways. So he's going to try and get the run on him. He's gotten... No, yeah, he's got a bit of...
Here comes Dyke. Here comes Dyke. Dyke's going to try and set this one up. Car rejoining on the right-hand side. We'll try and get out of there. Schultz has got to get out of the way here. He has to for Harry Dodds. He's now starting to hold these guys up, and these guys will want to get on. Connor said it on the last lap. Now it's starting to get feisty because Dodds needs to see those apexes. They're not right on his rear bumper at this point in time. He's only got a few corners left before they will be.
Yeah, Jai is not moving. This is not good for Harry Dodds. Harry Dodds does not want this. He wants to see those apexes. Like Scotty said, he wants to see the road in front of him. He does not need these distractions right now. This is one of Doddsy's best performances so far. So he's going to go through the curbs. These curbs are absolutely incredible. I love them. So
Flip
now
flop
back.
gets them so blind up and over the crest.
It's
Down to the last corner. So Schultz will probably
should
peel to the
back out.
inside. Done
Yep, and he
so.
has.
And here comes Michael Locke as well as the next car for SLM Motorsports as well. So Schultz is still hanging there on the inside of the track. Still not lifting out. There's a whole huge field here. And Schultz sees an opportunity to grab a spot on Michael Locke. Does so. But now he's in the middle of this pack as well. They'll all fly down into turn number 1. Down the inside. It's going to be Thrum. Sagasa will try and take that one away there. And will get so. So a few cars now starting to fire on by Schultz. Dodds is still managing to defend his way off.
Dodds
and
is
that's the
locked
battle
up.
back up.
Dodds is locked up. Whiting's up the inside. Look at this. Knees backed out. Braden's on the outside. Dyke's going to try and get a bit of action too. Too wide with Michael Whiting and Braden.
Yeah, that's
Braden's
it.
on the outside.
Up and over the
him
crest
go.
now. The flip flop they'll come to, and Jamie Dyke's now got to the inside. This is for podium placings. They'll make contact. A little bit of door rubbing between Dyke and Sagasa. Sagasa hangs onto it for now.
Braden and Dyke just had a bit of contact there. It's a bit of rubbing. That's all you want. You don't want any more than a bit of rub. So now they're going to catch back up to Whiting. They're right there. Whiting's going to try and make a move on the straight. It looks like he's got the momentum. But he might just want to stay behind Dodds because he wants to save that fuel. We did see a little bit of fuel saving behind. This is what Michael Whiting does. He sits behind, saves a bit of fuel. Dodds is just going to hit the apex. That's what you want. Good drive. Looks like Dodds has got a lot of drive on exit compared to Michael Whiting. Braden's right behind him too. So if Doddsy makes a mistake, Whiting goes through, Braden will follow. This is how it normally goes. So Dodds does not want to make a lock-up.
I can tell you.
Steering, no nothing.
They're coming up on a couple of cars that are actually off track at the moment as well. Greg Johnson's just rejoined a few corners in front of them as well. They're now coming up on Dave Coleman as well, who's through no fault of his own, just a long way back here tonight. And it's just not working here for Dave Coleman, so he'll have to get escorted wide. And Greg Johnson as well, he's going to be just in front of these. And then Andrew Proctor's the next car. So a ton of lap traffic for these guys. Track is covered. It's not going to go away. You're going to have it for the full duration of 40 minutes. The question is now, does track position get you further down the track, or are you going to come to the pit lane?
Yeah, everyone's heading. Matt Stewart's already boxed.
Troy Dooley's just rejoined him for the race leader. He's just come out of the pits. So there's a few guys now that have got fresh rubber and fresh tanks of fuel. Cars starting to file their way through pit lane. Have a look at that pit lane entry. You're going to pick to it late, and there is next to no indication of who's going into the lane.
And we're halfway through the race. We've still got about 19 minutes to go or more. Or a little less, sorry.
15 minutes, yep.
15 minutes, sorry. There we go. So Dodds is still here. Dodds will want to pit right now. If he does not get these guys out of his way, he's in trouble. Braden's probably going to do the same thing.
Does that just release the guys in behind him, though? Are they going to go for the overcut now?
Yeah, you want to do the undercut around this. I don't know. You want to get that undercut so you're fast out of that.
I can tell you what, pit lane is super busy. There's a car. That's Andrew Proctor in the 380s in the last corner. He's in the fence. Who's going to dive into pit lane? Dodds is coming in. Dodds has blocked pit lane. Dodds has blocked pit lane. Whiting's in there. Sagasa as well. Dyke stayed out. They're all trying to get through, and he is jammed. Pit lane entry is jammed, and they're all lining up to come into pit lane. Safety car called. And he cannot move.
Whiting's out. Oh no! Braden's just staying there. He doesn't want to keep going. This is huge.
They're stuck. Oh, Harry Dodds, you got to feel for him. He downshifted too early and just locked the rears. Coming to the pit lane.
No. But that's wrecked Whiting and Braden's race. So that's the top three gone. They're out of the race. So Dyke's involved. So Matty Stewart's already boxed. So where does that put him? He's going to go massively here.
There's a
Brayden's at
whole
the
bunch of cars that are going to gain. A whole bunch of cars that are going to lose as well. P1's already gone through. Jamie Ike's in the last corner, and he's going to get through again. Safety car is just going to keep waving everyone by because he has no idea where the race leader is.
Oh my god, that is huge.
And there is a car behind the safety car that's out of fuel. I didn't hear who it was, but I just heard someone was out of fuel.
You need to box now. People will be running out of fuel, so if you need a box now. But that's huge in the SRW V8 Supercars. That is massive on their points. Michael Welding's out of this. Brayden Sagassa, I don't know where he sits.
22nd. He is 22nd.
That's huge.
The issue now is they're trying to pick up the leader.
Yeah. Now, can you save enough to get to the end now?
Well, from here, you'll definitely make the end if you pit. But who?
Yeah. Michael Whiting's in. Look at the damage on his car. It's huge. Matty Stewart's in P10 now. Huge gainer. Absolute massive. About 23 spots he's made up. Huge gainer. This is huge. I'm running out of breath now, Scotty.
You're running out of breath. You're running out of breath.
Oh, DSL loading services
Dodds
replay.
is 31st. Dodds is 31st. So this is a huge moment that just happened. The safety car was trying to get its way back out on the circuit and it's trying to catch the leader. But of course, the leader had already gone by the time they got to pit lane exit. Leader was gone.
Yeah. So it was Peter Pavlich. Here we go. Yeah, all good.
So that's Dodds rejoining.
Wow. Dodds race just went from 100 to 0.
Hey, hang on. How's this? Blake Delaney is going to be your leader.
Has he boxed?
Yeah, he's pit. He pit on lap 11.
Wow. His tyres are going to be not fresh though. He's going to suck on traction. This is huge. Look at the damage on the side of Delaney's car. I feel like Delaney is going to be at a bit of a disadvantage here. He might need a box again. We've got 10 minutes to go. They'll make it. Oh my god. How's this, Scott, for our first round? This is incredible. Incredible.
Well, the good news is I've managed to catch my breath.
Ah, yeah. Did you need the Ventolin? couple of puffs. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you're liking this, like and subscribe. This is huge. Every Sunday we have this on all Australian tracks. This is our first Oran Park, then we're to Phillip Island, Bathurst. We're going to all of them, ladies and gentlemen. So follow this series. This will be huge.
Yeah, if you love Australian racetracks, well, that's all we're doing this season, except for GT3s on Friday night. The NASCAR Truck Series, there was only ever one Australian road oval, not unfortunately part of the iRacing simulation, and there's no dirt ovals at this point in time. So the only action that we can actually bring you is road course racing in terms of the racing action. Delaney looks like his fuel saving still quite heavily.
Yeah,
which
I don't
says
think
to me
he's got enough.
he's short. He's got to make 10 minutes here. He's got to make about 10 minutes of gas. Less than 10 minutes, 9 minutes of gas.
Probably.
The risk is worth the reward.
5-6 laps, I reckon he needs. Plus, with like, because it.
He pits now. He goes to the tail end of the chain. That's just such a. He doesn't have a choice. He's locked in.
It's got to be there. Now, Jamie Dyke can push him across the line if he needs it. But you've got 9-5, and you've got the other boys behind him too.
I'm sorry, but if you're Jamie Dyke, in this situation, you're not pushing him across the line. Like, look, I understand what you're trying to say, Connor, but you're not pushing him across the line. Okay, he's good. Never mind. He's so good that he's typing under pacing.
What does he put? I'm good.
I'm good.
Oh, I don't know. Are you?
He's less good if he keeps typing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So-
a skill. That's a talent.
But here's the thing, right? So behind Dyke, you've got Hayden Norris, Craig Schultz, Brock, and guess who? Matty Stewart in P6. So you've got two different teams, and I think Craig's on his own. Yes. No, he's not. He's got Sam behind Corey. So Corey's going to push through the field. This is going to be crazy. Last... Oh, he might make it.
Planned from Blake Delaney. Planned, he
Oh.
says, ladies and gentlemen.
Planned. Righto. Righto. Prove it, mate. Prove it. If you
Oh,
can
I'm
get
kidding.
home and win it. Prove it,
I
mate.
don't know. You know what? You know what? When he's not typing in a safety car, he's doing his hair, he's doing his makeup for his interview.
Getting his voice all ready, drinking some water, and yeah.
Doing
Go
some
on.
vocal exercises, looking
Yeah.
after his voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
Do re mi fa sol la ti do.
You know that super Max.
Super Blake, more like.
Yeah, super Blake. Oh no, no, it should be Delaney. Oh, anyway, we're gonna go green this lap.
Righto. Exit the last corner. He'll have control of the field. Blake Delaney getting ready for a restart. Fishy Motorsports, number 1 and 2. Looking for the restart. Holding them. And now they'll go at the exit of the last corner. They got past the apex and then they trundle down the front stretch one more time. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. 7.5 minutes on your in-game clock. That's all there is racing left. We're 26 laps in to our 40-lap feature race, and it's going to be Delaney versus Dyke. Big wiggle on the acceleration. Dyke goes to the outside. Fresh rubber for the number 1 Fishy Motorsports driver, defending champion Jamie Dyke. He's now got Hayden Norris trying to line him up and go for a move as well. Great Schultz is in there. It is just getting intense here in the front pack. Corey McFarlane's up to P number 6 now. We'll see if he can cut, slice, dice, and weave his way through the pack in what has been a fortunate set of circumstances for a bunch of drivers here tonight. Yet again, they've made their way through the first lap unscathed at this point in time.
I think.
And now-
I think if Delaney's going to do this, he's going to have to use every bone and muscle to get this thing across the line.
Huge moment in the back of the pack, and it's going to be, I think, skulls in the wall again. And Schultz was involved in that one. They made contact. The driver of the, I think it's the 19 it is for Chai Schultz and the 605 for Matty Skulls.
3 wide with Christopher Bleakley and Harry Dodds. That was in P1. He's going to try and move every... Oh, 2 wide with Dyke and Harry... Hayden Norris.
Yeah, they're all
doesn't
just
have any
having a go
time.
here at this point. Delaney's still managing to hang on to a race lead at this point in time, and now Norris is going to get to the inside of Jamie Dyke. Gets the nose down in there. They'll go door to door as they start to move up the triangle and underneath the bridge. But finally, Dyke manages to edge himself back out ahead. Still got that P number 2 on lock, and Delaney looks back and says, "You boys, you can keep on fighting." This allows him to edge a little bit further forward, and here comes Corey McFarlane up to P number 4 as well now. So he's going to start to assault the rear bumper of the number 20.
Yeah, forget Craig. Corey's like, yeah, up the
comes-
inside.
Down the inside, driver the number 94. He's got to the inside now. He'll try and get it under acceleration. Jamie Dyke's just had a huge wiggle ahead. Now he's at the rear bumper of Blake Delaney. Delaney forces him no on the run down to turn number 1. Delaney
what is contact?
He's out of control. Loose, and Dyke gets it back down the inside of Delaney. McFarlane's going to go to the outside, and Corey McFarlane comes away with P number 2. Jamie Dyke is going to start to try and hang on to this one. Is he going to go win-win for round number 1, sorry. First time here tonight. And they'll all settle themselves down finally after that
And
chaos.
Stewart
in
is coming
one.
through the field. Forget about Chiliban. He's Maverick out of Top Gun.
Making moves, cut, dip, dive, duck and dodge. Weave your way through the traffic if you don't mind.
That big white Mustang is moving forward. 28 spots. Matt Stewart. He is flying.
There's some drivers out here tonight that have played strategy chicken and won, and Matt Stewart is among them. Craig Schultz is a long way forward in terms of his grid positions as well. There's a ton of drivers that are moving and shaking, but right now it's Corey McFarlane who's trying to move and shake all the way up onto the back end of Jamie Dyke at this point in time. The race for the race lead. Zach McDonald is going after the right. Sim Racing, guys. It is all over for the track for just about everyone. Skulls, he's down the inside here. He's going to snag himself away in position. Matty Keane is going to grab one as well. David Blake's defending for all his money, but multiple cars have now fired down the inside of Blakey, and Zach McDonald's is going to be another one of those. He's going to go around the outside.
Blake, Blake's around! Blake!
He's around!
He's around!
Blake Delaney gets punched for Aiden Norris, and now Craig Schultz has come away with P number 3.
Huge! Blake had no tyre, so Hayden nudged him. He had no tyre. Blake has no tyres on those things.
And the leaders have skipped clear. It's Jamie Dyke and Corey McFarlane. They're a mile ahead of P number 3 now.
P3 is right there. So whoever you want to be on that last step. So a bit of a wiggle from one of the boys. Oh, Corey's right. Oh no, he hasn't made the move. He's just sat behind Dyke. He's going to be smart about it. Is he going to go around the outside? No, he's going to set him up for turn 2.
He's looking for the crisscross, and Dyke is just going to defend this all the way to the right-hand side of the road. Back to the left now comes Corey McFarlane. He'll try and swing it around the outside. Look at those rear bake just growing. There is every little bit of performance being maximised out of these cars at this point in time. Now he looks for the crisscross. He's going to get underneath him as they head up to the crest of the bridge. He gets a wiggle on, but he is coming. Corey McFarlane, he come away with the pole position from the Melville Equipment Corporation top 10 shootout. Now it's going to be Jamie Dyke who looks to defend from him. Dyke has a wiggle. McFarlane has a wiggle. Couple traffic here as well, which isn't going to make it any more complicated or any less.
No, not at all. So, on the outside, Corey, contact.
You're kidding.
Jamie Dyke. They're putting everything on the table. There's Jai Schultz again.
Now Schultz is going to defend it. Sorry, not defend it. He's going to get it out of the way down the inside. Looking further back, we've got Cowan now trying to drive his way past David Blake. It was Cowie that was suffering from damage in the first race and drifting backwards. Now it's Cowie that's going to move on the assault. Down the inside from the average sim racer. Manages to squeeze down there. Down the outside is Blake. They'll both go for a drift through turn number 1, but as Cowie comes up trumps on that one. Oh, huge contact! And now it's McFarlane that's got away with the race lead after all of that.
Huge moves.
Oh, it's the run between turn number 1 and turn number 2. I don't think McFarlane got it done.
This is the last lap, I'm pretty sure.
No, there'll be one more. There'll be one more. I got a feeling there's going to be one more. At the moment, it's Corey McFarlane. He goes for the fake. Wiggles to the outside. Zig when he should have zagged. And now down the inside. And Dyke will try and squeeze him. And Dyke gets squirrely on the acceleration to get the job done. But it's Corey McFarlane who leads the race, and Dyke is trying to hunt him back down the best that he possibly can. They'll go through on the run out of turn number 1. White flag in the air. This will be the final lap of the race. So it's not done yet. There is one more to go. Skulls hangs on to a top 10 at this point in time, and he's hanging onto it from Matty Keane. And have a look at Zach McDonald. The Mac is there. Can he go Big Mac? Can he supersize me this last lap? He's going to try and squeeze it down the inside. Tries to take the position away here from Matty Keane and does so. They'll drag race it down to turn number 2 under the Yokohama Bridge for the final time here tonight. Whiting starting to try and grab some positions back for himself. It's Andrew Cowan that's next on his hit list. And he's still trying to grab spots. It's just chaos right around the track. At the moment, it's going to be McFarlane trying to get the job done from Jamie Dyke as they come through the last few corners. It's just such a short run to home for Corey McFarlane. He'll pull it up at the last corner and he'll take the feature race win here tonight from Jamie Dyke. Run to the flag. Big wiggle out of the last corner and celebrates in style for Corey McFarlane. And the rest of the field will start to trundle their way on home. It's going to be Craig Schultz who'll grab P number 3 from Aiden Norris. Matt Stewart gets back for P number 5. Sam Noble, Brock Montezhead, Blake Delaney finishes all the way down in P8 after restarting at the head of the field. Michael Quash, Matty Skulls, Zach Mack gets P11. So Skullsy rounds out your top 10. Troy Dooley, Daniel Clutterback, Matty Keane, Michael Whiting, Matty Jones, Harry Dodds will get back to P number 17. And on the lead lap is a reasonable finish after all that went on there. Callan Hodgkinson, David Blake, Braden Sagassa, Matt Iman, Peter Pavlovich, Dean Riddett, Ty Delaney, Christopher Bleakley, Brian Good, Linton Wills, Brett Taylor, Andrew Cowan. So something happened to Cowie on that last lap as we watch the expression session as the drivers wind down for the night. And Cowie will finish in 29th spot from Greg Johnson, the last driver in the lead lap. Runners off the lead lap, David Coleman, Jai Schultz, Chris Miller, Tyrone Walsh, Andrew Proctor, Michael Locke, all at 1 lap down. Dylan Thomas at 3 laps down. Bradley Mays at 19 laps down and disconnected. And Bruce Tannock, 25 laps down. Was not the night that Tannock was looking for in the Mag and Turbo machine. But
I tell
your podium on screen, I tell you what, Connor. Wow, there they go.
I tell you what, I feel like Matt Stewart needs his own interview. What a drive, honest.
We don't have time for it.
Nah, but honestly, the top 3 orders over it, like Corey's just absolutely been next level. Like, he's bringing something else to the table for SRW. He's bringing a bit of, competitiveness to Jamie Dyke's just absolute season after season championship. Corey's came along and went, come on, let's have a battle and let's go to the end of the championship.
I think everyone out there has just had fun tonight. To be perfectly honest with you,
100%.
It's a tricky track, and it was just so difficult that everyone was fighting the car, everyone was fighting the track, everyone was fighting for track position. Everywhere you looked, up and down the field, it was an absolute scrap.
Yeah, 100%. And it's if McNamar's still happy, he's got a car on the podium, so he'll be happy about that. But yeah, honestly, what a race, and well done to all of them.
Did Damie Jike blow an engine?
Damie Jike?
No, because those 3 tyres are still smoking.
Oh, well, so we got Dylan Thomas as the new fishy driver, and Damie Dyke.
Damie Jike. Yep, I'm going to be over here trying to recover my breath, mate. You just... The oxygen's no longer getting to my brain. It's all coming back out again.
Yeah, it's going in the wrong spots, but what a race. I've got no words. What do we do? Yeah.
Who would have words? There is no words to describe that. It's literally we saw on screen. It was chaos, left, right, and center. It's not easy, ladies and gents. There is no way to say how easy that was, how difficult that was. It was just something else.
I think we go to Craig Schultz and pull him in, eh?
I think that's about the only answer.
Yeah, all right, I'll move him in. Oh, there he is. Craig, mate.
We're out of breath, Craig. How are you feeling? You there, Craig?
Yeah, I'm here, yep.
Yeah. Mate, talk to us about it, because both races were a fair bit of chaos there tonight. Obviously, things not working all the way out in terms of the way that service was set up. But I'll tell you what, it was, if nothing, if not exciting.
Oh, yeah, it was action-packed all the way through, wasn't it?
How do you deal with that sort of things? Because there was packs. Every time we look up or down, there's packs everywhere, and the packs aren't little. They're not 2 or 3 cars, everyone's sort of jostling, somebody throws a nose here. There are packs of 7 or 8 cars and everyone's trying to throw a nose on each other. Your race management has got to be so critical in these races.
Yeah, well, it's difficult, especially if you're new to the series and you don't really know how a lot of these other drivers race. So I'm really feeling it out for the time being, and but yeah, just taking it a bit cautiously, and it's obviously played out well for me.
100%, man. You absolutely clawed your way through the field, and as we could just see on replay, look at that action, and you can even see Corey in the shot too. But man, you just went through the field like a rocket and just carved your way through. And any moments that got you scared and got you moving in your seat?
Well, I was planning on taking a pit stop, but pit entry was a little bit blocked.
Yeah, well, we'll tell you about that. That's Harry Dodd's top 3 actually got caught up in that. So yeah, all the top 3.
Very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. But
mate,
yeah,
I only just made it back to the pits on the next lap around. It was coughing in the pit lane.
I can imagine, man. Yeah, just an outstanding drive. Then get the podium. Like it was a battle to the end with Hayden Norris and Matty Stewart in your rear.
Yep.
I don't think you could have done it any better, to be honest.
No, it was good fun. They definitely challenged me towards the end, and yeah, happy to come away with the podium.
Yeah,
good.
definitely, man. And I'm sure your boss will be happy as he's been watching. But yeah, it's you've definitely had a stellar drive, man. What could you add anything else, Scott?
No, that's about it, right? I'm recovering over here. I'm somebody hook me up to the heart monitor. Somebody get a plug in. I need to go recover some fluids because whilst that might have been difficult for you guys in the race cars, I basically passed out in my chair from how madness that was. Anyway, mate, congratulations. Your opportunity to thank your sponsors here, Craig.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, racecraft simulations. We've just got a new sponsor on board, Turn-In Race Apparel. We've got RSW Graphics. They do all our liveries, racing ears, and cutting edge tracks as well. So yeah, big thanks to all of them.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think I don't think if you were going to be, I think you're actually the second one that carved your way through. So like second most positions made, man. So definitely go and have a beer, mate, and relax. So well done, mate.
Thank you. That was good fun.
Well done, mate. So now we'll move into Jamie Dyke, the bus driver, as I've been calling him recently. He definitely knows how to drive a car, and definitely, I'm guessing he knows how to drive a bus. So he must be doing some skids with that bus. Jamie Dyke, mate. What a battle with Corey.
Yeah, it was a great battle, great fun with Corey there.
Yeah, I was saying at the start of the stream, you might have a bit of competition this season.
Yep, definitely. Corey's a quick driver.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, man. At the end of the race, you were just battling with him, and with a bit of contact and a bit of a slide, and just all of it happening. And Blake Delaney contacting us through the stream, and him having issues with his tires, and yeah, man, the ending was unreal.
Yeah, definitely. I knew I had to get around Blake because I realised Corey was closing in, and he had older tyres than us. And I think I used probably a bit too much, or maybe I got a bit nervous, but I defended all I could, and yeah, he stuck the nose up, gave him some room, and lit the rears up as we're side by side. So that's that.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think yeah, from a driving point of view, man, like you won the last championship, which is mega. You know, you drove away and you were just so in the zone for last season, and we come to this racetrack, and it just looked like you had no time to breathe, almost, just with how much you were getting bombarded by just everyone. It just looks like everyone's just up their game, man, like just with their driving abilities, and it's just been absolutely incredible from the commentary box to just see everyone improved. And with your driving, man, it's just went to another level as well. Could you add anything else with Corey?
Not really. We there was a bit of fuel saving that we had to do early on because we didn't know if it was going to be a safety car or not. And yeah, everyone's picked up the pace, but patience is a virtue. And you know, with everyone getting quicker, you just need to be patient with some people, and you'll come out on the other side.
Yeah, and definitely, you definitely showed everyone up tonight, finishing away with P2. Who would you like to thank, mate?
Hang on. Before we do that, Jamie Dyke, in honour of the race tonight being at Oran Park, can I get your best rendition of They Paved Paradise and Put Up a Parking Lot?
No.
Okay, well, we tried.
It's real estate now, so no.
Yeah, so close enough. That's like the best you're going to get. We're going to get, they paved a racetrack over and put up a housing development? No, so they paved Paradise and put up a parking lot. It's the closest we get, mate.
Yeah. And as well, because you've got a bit of a fishy thing going on with your birthdays, there was actually someone in the pack that had their birthday today. So yeah, bit of a thing. But David Coleman's birthday again, so wish him a happy birthday. So
He's about
doubt it.
900 and something at this point.
Yeah, the man's like 300 years old at this point. But Matty Stewart's birthday, so happy birthday to him. But who would you like to thank, man?
Obviously our sponsors, Infinity Designs, Precision Sim Training, DC Shades, Relax Marine and Game Fishing, Adrenaline Images, West End Motor Group, and Battery Warehouse. And all the competitors. It was other than the crap show that happened in race 1, it was pretty good. I didn't see much of it, but I knew there was a bit of carnage. So well done to everyone that got through that. And we'll work on a setup to beat Corey next week.
Yeah, you'll definitely need to contact your setups guy, and finishing in round 1 P1, finishing in the second race P2. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate. Have a good one, guys.
You too, mate. And in P1, sorry, Corey, which we'll drag in a second.
And I think we've got him now. Corey McFarlane. How about that? That was just, look, that was something else.
Yeah, thanks. It was pretty wild.
Mate, how was the racing coming through the pack? Because it looks like it was just a fun night from lights out to flag, I think.
Yeah, the whole night's been pretty fun. First, I think it was the first race. Can't really remember too much from that. But starting 13th was a bit of a surprise, but it was pretty interesting to come through the field, and got pretty lucky off the start line, and just played the fuel saving game. And just couldn't make a move on Jamie at the end of that one. And then second race was pretty similar. Pitted on I think it was the first safety car, and probably wasn't the right decision in the end, but played up pretty nicely with the other 2 safety cars towards the end.
In terms of things from both races, obviously putting a pretty big stamp of authority down early, parking it on P number 1 in qualifying, pole position. Obviously, that all didn't go to plan, obviously, with service up, and that's its own sort of separate argument. But you got to be happy with the racing and how everything sort of unfolded night long. You know, it's a good marker when you throw that down and say, hey, look, you know, this is round number 1. This is how well we've gone. How are you feeling about the remaining 8 rounds, you know, with just Australian tracks on the calendar?
One of the main reasons I wanted to do this was because it just was the Aussie tracks, and I thought that'd be pretty cool to do. So Oran Park, probably the least favourite of them all. Looking forward to wherever the next round is, wherever that is.
At least it's a bit bigger than Winton.
Yeah. I'll get the worst ones over and done with early. It's been pretty good fun.
So, does that mean Sunday nights going forwards, when you sign up for something like this, it's just like, oh man, I just know that it's going to be chaos, but it's going to be the right kind of chaos all the way along, right?
Yeah, that's it. Just like the challenge of reverse grid as well. That definitely makes the races a lot more interesting, and whenever you jump into SRW, it's always just a good battle. Thoroughly enjoying it.
All right, mate. It's your opportunity to thank the sponsors that make it all possible for you, Corey.
Thanks, Centre Sim Sports, Precision Performance Setup Shop, AJ Insurance, Sydney Computers, my teammate Matty, racing tonight. Got pretty unlucky with the drive-through penalty, and then but he did bloody good job to fight back through that, so well done to him. And then just thanks to everyone at SRW for putting on the league and the broadcast as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think definitely deserve it. You just carved your way through the field, and you just finished up on top. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thank you. Also, thanks to Jamie as well for the good battle throughout the last few laps. It was good fun.
He definitely and thoroughly enjoyed it, mate. So he said it was very good racing, and now he's got a competitor to verse. So it's good. Good to see you, man.
Thank you.
Well, now you got your voice back, Scott, and oxygen.
Yeah, no.
I think
mate.
First round of Supercars, Oran Park. Well, first round, proper round. hectic. That's the only word I can use. The racing was just unbelievable with round 1 getting mixed up. Then round 2 starting back where from everything else. So I think we're pretty much ready to wrap it up. And there's our results for the second round. Results. And there we go. Look at that. Corey McFarlane, Jamie Dyke, Craig Schultz of P1, P2, and P3. Yeah, I've got no words to be honest. Thanks for everyone for tuning in from all parts of the world.
Probably my opportunity to kick back in and take over.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. It's SRW. Don't forget, you're going to have racing action coming your way from Monday right through to Friday. Break for Saturday nights off so that we can catch our oxygen back and make sure we don't pass out, because Sunday nights is such an all-round banger. NASCAR Truck Series coming to you live on Monday nights. Sprintcars, the dirt oval side of things on Tuesday night. Wednesday night's the first of your dynamic double headers. It is the TCRs followed by Formula 3. Thursday nights you'll have your SR8 Radicals followed by your Porsche Cup cars, and Friday nights will be your GT3 Mini Enduros followed by Sunday night V8 Supercars, Super 1 and Super 2 action. Ladies and gents, big shout outs to all the sponsors that again make it possible for Sim Racing World to go racing. The TSL Welding Services V8 Supercar Series, they're the prime sponsor for the action here on a Sunday night. Shout out as well to DragonRC, tonight's round sponsor. The promo department are the guys bringing to you the safety car. Melville Equipment Corporation bring to you the pole position, the qualifying session, and the top 10 shootout. We also say a big shout out to Warren Brown, V8 Experience and Toyo Sim, who make it all possible for us, as well as Racecraft Simulations, who assisted with getting some nice booth action down at Motor Classica in Melbourne. I've been Scotty Rattlegun Rankin. I'm going to go pass out because my head's about to explode. He's Connor Pixie Nixon. Behind the scenes is Mr. Shibby Howard. Big shout out to all our race controllers who had their hands full tonight. Cannot say a big enough thank you to Tyson McAvoy, Stefan McCartan, and Greg Barber. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Sunday night action for the DSL Welding V8 Supercar Series. We'll see you once again next week as we prepare to go racing SRW style.
Bye.